Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols, and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
The Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV begins right now on a game week. There's Ira. There's Corey. Hello, boys.
We made it.
You finally
made
excited?
it. We made it to college football season, gang. We absolutely made it.
Ready to embrace it?
You're excited on a Tuesday?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. It's here.
Corey.
We made it.
Little early.
I know. I need to calm it down a little bit.
Settle down.
Halftime on Saturday. I'll be excited that college football season's here. Yeah, band's here.
Yeah,
we'll see. It'll be a good thing if you're excited at halftime.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yay, sausage.
This is the week, guys. Costco this weekend.
Damn.
This weekend, they're doing the big rollout, the travel show. I think that's what he called it.
The travel show?
Basically, when you they kind of sample a new product, and they're bringing the And listen, Registers has been in Sam's Club. No offense to Sam's Club. We're all about it. And they've been in plenty of other stores, Publix's, a bunch of different grocery stores. But this is their shot this weekend. So if you're in Tallahassee this week, the Tallahassee
Stop
Costco,
screwing around, yeah.
Go in and get your Register sausage.
Invade it.
Oh, I mean, I'm not terrorize.
Pillage.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. You can pillage the sausage section though, for sure.
Yeah, the section.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or pilfer it, whatever. Any of the pills.
Yeah. You don't.
Pillage is. I guess pillage has more of a negative.
You're not
connotation.
taking over a village, Corey.
Yeah, well, you are. You're taking over the sausage.
You're not taking over a village,
and you're going to pay for it.
True.
Listen,
Yeah.
Costco's not letting you walk out of there with some
Registers
registers without your receipt. But go this weekend if you can. Really, this weekend, if you're in town or if you live here, go get your registers from Costco this weekend because that'll let them know that it's in high
go
demand.
Time. Yeah,
and they'll be there more often. But otherwise, if you're in other parts of the country, go to registermeats.com. That's a website. It's high quality sausage, premium pork. It's none of the fillers, none of the nonsense that they put in the cheaper sausages. No offense to them. Well,
nonsense.
It is offense attended.
It's offense to
I had some last night at Corner Pocket, the Register bite. Unbelievable. Maybe the best I've ever had. Legitimately.
Listen, if you can try other sausages and do the taste test.
Yeah.
But Registers wins out every time. Go to your local grocery store if you're in this part of the country and get your registers for a game weekend.
Busy start to the week. It's that way all the time when it's game week. But I'm just saying, like you guys last night, I know Ira with the town hall there, and in addition, the Smash, and then obviously I just got reached out to by Aslan this morning. He said, Jeff, need you tomorrow. Let's go on the report, ready to roll. So we're checking the boxes. I spoke to the Sunrise Rotary this morning, bright and early. You would have loved it.
Corey, did you make that one?
No, they stopped asking me.
Hey, by the way, it has been gorgeous. I mean, if we get anything close to
it's great. It's great weather.
I mean, that would be huge.
This morning was nuts. Yeah, yesterday after, again, we did the town hall and with Peter Collins, FSU's Board of Trustees chair, which was really informative. Appreciate him taking the time. And all the people that watched it and submitted questions. That was great. Then we did the Smash afterwards. I also did a spot on your show, and we also did the wrap yesterday. And so a friend of mine's like, yeah, man, Ira, you were like 2.5 hours of video. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm exhausted. And I remember that Jeff does that like every day.
Every day,
yeah,
buddy.
But you also wrote. Jeff doesn't go home and pin wonderful articles.
Wonderful
articles. So you got something on him, too.
That's true.
But what was your message to the Rotary Club, Jeff?
Hang in there.
Well,
there you go. Another positive note.
Hang in there. Yeah.
If it was the same tone I'm hearing about on the message boards about your tone recently, then
I don't.
You might have. Was it dire?
They might have driven off the road on the way home.
I don't believe that it's true. Now, listen, I'm going to admit something. I have not seen whatever is being said about me on the message boards lately. I haven't been on there in a while. I didn't know there was anything on there. You're telling me people think that I am negative right now?
I think that's an.
Is that sarcasm?
No, I'm dead serious. Seriously,
yeah, they do.
I mean, I would generally agree with that.
I don't listen to you though. I stopped listening to you because
negative.
I'm not listening to that nonsense. So
no, but what specific was the charge?
I mean, I think the bonus hour you did last week after headlines set people off. I mean, there's a long thread about it. And don't worry, I didn't go in to defend you.
Okay.
You don't need that.
You would. I think you'd be offended if I went in and defended you. You don't need me to.
Also, you don't want Ira doubling down for you. That's just going to make it worse for all of us.
First of all, I want to know. I can't remember what I did that was so dire, or what I said that was so bleak.
I mean, listen, man. You're not in a great headspace about the football program right now.
Imagine,
which is understandable.
Imagine how it is. I might be a little distraught about where the football program is right now. How did I come to that conclusion? What happened?
But then you also, I think in that bonus hour, went after the administration a little bit about whether or not this whole thing's going to be buttoned up for a game day. And the fact that
I doubted that something would be run really smoothly in a major project that Florida State's administration is doing.
It sounds like a lot of negativity.
No.
We're not saying it's not realistic.
Well, that's the important point.
We got it. There's pragmatism and there's negativity.
Love to, under the banner, under the cloak of negativism, if you have an honest dialogue and conversation about concerns you have, you're being negative. So I was supposed to go on and say everything's going to run smoothly and the team's going to be great, guys.
No, that doesn't work either because we tried that last year.
Well, it's also nonsense. Yeah. So here's the deal. I don't think it's I'm very gung-ho on a lot of aspects of what can happen in this year's.
Let's hear about it. List them off. List them off right now.
I think it's a team that's going to get better as the season goes along.
There we go.
Now, obviously, this is one of those things where we always have to throw the caveat in that health matters greatly, but that's especially true of this version because I don't think it's a very deep team. But I don't mind and even like aspects of the starting 22, if you will. But I do think if they stay healthy,
starting 23 really because they got 12 on offense.
Yeah. I do think they have a chance to grow into something that by the season's end we're really excited to watch and believe in and think that they could aspire to do some good things. And that includes maybe upsetting some people that we're not anticipating them upsetting right now. And I think I've said that. There are aspects of what they did in the portal that I do like. But I don't think that it's overly negative or in some ways a dour prediction to say that I think that by Florida State standards, I think it's going to be a pretty average football team. And if they are like an 8-4 or 7-5 would be, I don't think a lot of people would be excited about that. But 8-4, or maybe if the ball bounces the right way and they go 9-3, people would be very excited about that. Include me amongst them, knowing that it needs to be on its way to something more consistent.
Yeah, this is not the ceiling.
Right.
8-4 isn't the ceiling you're trying to bump your head on.
Listen, I should go back in there and talk with people because I don't think that.
I would listen, man. I would bask in some above average football. Like if they were just above average, if they were above average, if they're like an 8-win team, 9-win team for this season, yeah, man, I would be like, this is the best you could have hoped for after last year. But what you guys just said is 100% true. That is not where you're trying to get to.
No,
and that's just to keep everybody employed and keep this thing maybe going in the right direction.
Right.
So you don't have to start over. Because listen, man,
nobody wants to start over.
That's the thing. People that, are done with Norvell and they've convinced that he can't get it done and he can't turn around. I understand where you're coming from, but you're much better off if he can because he's done it at least once. You don't know what you're getting when you go hire a new coach.
And also starting over is difficult.
Yeah, that's a reset.
There's a lot of things that
like
are
Florida has, and maybe Florida will be good this year. We'll see. They did go 7-6 last year. They didn't go 11-1. They went 7-6. But they've been starting over for 15 years. You would like in hindsight, maybe who was their best one of the guys after Meyer? Mullen?
It might have been McElwain, honestly.
Mullen had some success,
but
too.
McElwain,
even the year he got tossed, he had success.
Yeah, McElwain was humping the Sharks and said he received death threats from that craziness. So you had to get rid of him.
But the least successful was probably Muschamp, and he's the guy that you would have thought had the best resume.
Right. So, but the point being, you keep starting over. There's no guarantee you're going to find your next Bobby Bowden or your next Urban Meyer in their case. And also, what I like about this team, when you look at that depth chart, and I brought it up on Wake Up, I wrote about it actually, on warchant.com, folks. $1 for the first week, right? And then you get $25 gift card to Garden Gold.
$1 for the first week. If you get you sign up for the annual membership, you get a free year to the Athletic and a $25.
So you're making money essentially. Yeah. You're making money. But in that column, I was like, man, it's cool to see a lot of young dudes on a depth chart. Like they missed so badly in 2023. We don't have to relitigate it, but that recruiting class is an all-time horror show. But this class, it seems like they might have some real dudes in it. And last class too, with Danzy, Landon Thomas, Amari Williams, they're on that. And then this freshman class with Croma and Boggs and the Desir guys,
and even
Kevin Wynn.
Over the last 3 years since Sertan has been here, I think the DBs largely are what you want. Yeah. Now we'll see. It's got to translate to the field. But they've recruited well at defensive
but
backs. There have been some
but if they go 8-4 this next year, it's not like an 8-4 just and then you got to start all over again and try. You'll have a little foundation to build. That's what gets me kind of excited about perhaps the direction of the program. I would never be excited growing up watching Florida State football for 40 years about an 8-4 season necessarily. But it's 8-4 with a chance to build. That's something you can get excited about.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for it. And I don't think Again, I don't know what was said, but I don't think I've been overly negative. I think I've been pretty straightforward, frustrated. Certainly, I'm not going to get on the air and tell you that I think things are great if I don't. Right. There's a contingent, and this is probably true of all fan bases, that they tune in to something that is whatever the central theme is. In this case, it's Florida State, right? And if the person doesn't tell you that everything is great with your beloved school, my school, your school, hey, everything's all right, let's sing Kumbaya together, then they get pissed because they think that you're either disparaging or embarrassing or saying things that are going to negatively impact the school. Look, I don't have that much power. I'm not going to negatively impact the football program by pointing out that they haven't been what we need them to be in terms of consistency. And I don't think it's unfair to say that it's awfully troubling to be in year 6 in this situation with the head coach. That's also not an unfair statement. At the same time, I'm really hoping that we get much greater and more consistent effort to the end that Corey's talking about, because if you get it, I think you have enough talent to reach to a place where by season's end, the program's once again got an uptick in momentum. People begin to feel a little better, and maybe you parlay that into another or a decent class, which turns into a good class, which turns not into having to start all over and all that. That's what I want. I desperately want. Of course I do. Nobody wants to go in there and watch them get their heads kicked in. But I also am not going to sit here and tell you that they're 13.5-point underdogs on a whim. It happens because, look, man, you assess where this team's at, the players they lost, the lack of depth.
Well, that's not a big deal.
Well, no, but
the players they lost wasn't a big deal.
Year over year, that's not how good programs are run. So my point is, you could have your doubts, and it's not crazy or negative.
I think the thing with this is it's just an impossible task because you're coming off 2-10, man, and this has been a 2-10 program now for the better part of a calendar year.
Thank God it's over.
So it's
Saturday.
over. Like it ends on Saturday, but that is the reality of where we live. Is the last time we saw this Florida State football
Chief,
team.
It's been that level program since the December of 2023.
Well,
so
essentially,
So it's 20 months of getting your ass
it's
kicked.
been awful.
Yeah.
It's been an awful. You're right. It's been 20 months of this. But this time last year, we had hope. We thought, okay, well, we're going to get to see football again. We don't have to worry about the snub anymore. And now I'm just madder and madder about the snub every day. That made me even madder. But like when it seems like it's overly negative, it's like, well, yeah, number one, there's nothing else to talk about. It's 2-10.
But
so there's a flip where there is a line you can ride once the game starts. Once the game starts, to me, it's all about this season.
Yeah,
you don't have to go back to
week 5
because it is a completely different team. It is an absolutely completely different team, and it's its own entity. But it's been like you said, it's been 20 months of just dire news, and I think people probably are like, okay,
what's hard about that?
Enough. Let's think about something positive because we know we've sucked for 20 months.
Well, and I want to hear what you had to say, Ira. There, so I'm sorry.
Corey doesn't.
I mean, golly,
he was just filibustering, so I couldn't talk.
Say it because I want to add to that because I understand the frustrations people might feel if you listen, let's say, to my show every day.
Thank God I don't.
No, but I'll explain that. Go ahead.
2 things real quick. One was, since I had to wait, I'm going 2.
Go.
One is
well, you're a 2-for guy anyhow.
So when I first got to Thomasville, Georgia, in 1994.
Good Lord, Jeff, go ahead.
1994, Thomasville High School had not had a losing season in over 60 years.
Yeah,
they had played for the state championship
is insane.
The year before, right? And so I get there, they go 2-8.
It goes south,
and I'm writing
you're
about
probably the problem.
And you're
documenting it. Yeah, you're the
so much, and I was writing about because I just covered college football
because they're 2-8,
but they're high school kids, and
you were covering them like they were the
Gators.
Gators.
It was a college kid. So they hated me. And everybody affiliated with Thomasville High School despised me. And I was talking to somebody about it one day. He's like, well, the problem is none of us in our lifetime have seen our team lose like this. And then we wake up Saturday morning
and this new dude
you're writing about it.
Yeah.
And so I think there's some of that when you're the ones documenting a terrible season, there's going to be some of that. But I think the other thing is what happens to you, and it happens to Corey sometimes, and I try to avoid it, is you spiral into the big picture of how the hell are we here in year 6?
Yeah.
Because once you start going down that road, man, there's no positive coming out of
it's hard to be positive
so
at all.
You just got to avoid that.
Right.
But
think about year 4, 13-0.
The problem
just saying.
Right, and people would love that euphoria.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, and neither of them are probably an apt picture of who he is and where the program's at. Both were dramatic.
Best case, worst case.
But the thing of it is, you're right. There's no way once you start down that road. But then also, are we just living in an altered reality as if it didn't happen? That's the backdrop by which we're judging.
Yeah, but I think it's like,
what are you supposed to do? Pretend like he didn't go 2-10 last year?
No, I'm just saying it's very much like if you, again, like
beating a dead horse.
I would say that 10, 15 years ago, financially, Kim wasn't working. She was staying home with the kids.
Go get a job, woman.
What is going on in our household?
I was not making a whole lot of money at the Osceola.
Right.
And at that point, you're like, man, what are we going to do? How are we going to pay these bills? How are we got 3 kids. Like, what are we going to do? And so, but if I just sat there and be like, well, I want somebody else's life. This sucks.
Yeah,
I hate this. If I just came home every day and barked at everyone, this sucks.
Right.
This is reality. No, it's like, man, start saving money, start spending better, start trying to earn more money, do some odd jobs. That's the way you have to approach it. And I think that's the way the fan base has to approach it is, listen, man, they're mired in this nonsense, but there's no quick fix to it. And rooting against the head coach probably isn't going to get you where you want to go.
But I don't think I've rooted against the head coach.
It's about the fans, not you.
In general. It's
I would never root. I mean, I don't want to start over. That I'll say. But the difference is that you and Kim were in that situation by choice. You chose each other. You chose to have kids. The job you had, you chose to take that job.
To marry a freeloader.
But watching I didn't have anything to do with Mike Norvell effing this up last year. It's just not like it's not a choice.
You should have heard the way Jeff commented on your marriage back then. It was incessant. You think he's negative about the Knowles?
What I do get, because I can hear it myself, and I've said this to Tom before. The hard part, and I have the best job in the world. I've been able to talk sports for 27 years and cover my school and do all these things that I've only dreamt of, and I'm very, very fortunate.
Jimbo Fisher's got a better job.
No, he's got more money.
Yeah.
But I have a better job. Right. But anyhow, that said, it's hard because you're gonna go to work on a Monday, you're gonna go to work on a Tuesday, you're gonna go to work on a Wednesday, and you're gonna host a 3-hour show. At some point, if you're talking about Florida State football, the things that happened last year are gonna come up, and they're gonna come up a lot. Until there's something else.
Yeah, it's been a long
There's nothing you can do
season.
about that, right? And you're going to get asked a question, and then you're going to answer that question. The next thing you know, that's going to start a dialogue.
And now you're pissed off.
Well, but in that dialogue, that reality is the reality. It's like, yeah, I don't want him to fail, and I'm really hoping like hell this gets a lot better for a lot of reasons. But because that happened, you can't pretend it didn't. You're just not going to live some sort of, fantasy land. And I refuse to do that. We're not going to pretend that didn't happen and that there haven't been problems, but we're also going to champion when he does something good and get excited about that. It's just that there hasn't been anything since 2-10 to his point.
And also,
what are you going to do?
And you brought it up back when it was announced, like not opening up access to practice. And again, I'm not complaining about it. Actually, I'm not complaining about it at all.
Nice.
It's been incredible.
Do the things you want to do.
It's been. I get up at 10:30 now. It's all unbelievable.
You're going back to your bad habits.
I know I am. It's not great, but it's cool to be watching Netflix at 2:30 in the morning.
No, it's not.
But not getting to be excited about what we saw. Like, oh, you guys won't believe how good Cromall is.
Yeah, if we were watching,
is unbelievable.
If we were watching Squirrel White steadily just get behind the defense and catch big passes and Deuce making acrobatic, man, that would give you.
But also, it wouldn't matter. None of it really matters till Saturday. Like Saturday, obviously, is when everything flips. If they play competitive, if they win, then everybody it's all rainbows and flowers. And if they're in the game, it's rainbows and flowers. Quite frankly. I think. I mean, it's not. Again, that's not where you want to be.
It's just
But again, I get it. But come
on now. You hear yourself, right?
But no, it's not.
This little program can somehow
and it's not
find a way.
My thought is, if they hang with Alabama and it's a close game in the fourth quarter, legitimately, this isn't me BSing. They have a chance to be in Charlotte, in my opinion. If you're good enough to hang, that's all. So win or lose, it's not like, little Florida State hung with big bad Alabama.
But the way you said it the first time is a little bit like if little old Florida State can just hang in there.
If this team can play a top 10 team and a program like Alabama and play it competitively, well, then it can play with everybody on its schedule.
Sure.
And it can get to Charlotte. So that's kind of what excites me about this game is just because we want them to win. It'd be awesome if they won.
No, but
it
I don't
matters
disagree
if they
with you.
won.
I think most rational, fair-minded fans would say that, look, man, they're 2 touchdown underdogs for a reason. And there is
because Vegas is dumb. That's why.
Hammer
the Knowles.
But what
hammer
I would
the Knowles,
say
everyone.
is that if you're in the way that game looks really, really, really matters. Like I don't even care so much about the score. I mean, I do and I don't. But I gave the scenario, I think, yesterday on the air. I was saying, well, what if it's 24-13 with 4 minutes left in the third quarter? It's been a really good game. It's been a hard-nosed, hard-hitting game. Defense swarms to the ball, playing well. Offense has had its moments, but they're struggling to sustain because Alabama is clearly the more physical and bigger team, let's say, right? And Florida State gets worn down, and it ends with an ugly score, 38-13. They score twice in the fourth quarter. Florida State can't do anything about it. They're tired. That's a different 38-13 score than if it's 38-13 that began 24-0 in the first quarter and Alabama put the backups in. There's two different ways to that same score, and it really matters because that will portend, I think, of the way people view what's possible the rest of the year. I want to believe that they can go beat Virginia on a Friday night and then turn around and have a massive game against their arch rival in Miami and bring that right here in Tallahassee and watch that thing play out.
And that game matter.
And that game had to be a huge game, right? So how you play in this one will inform that. And that's important for Florida State for a lot of reasons. I mean, this administration needs it. Mike Norvell needs it. These kids need it for their mindset.
The fans need it.
The fans need it, man. We all desperately need that.
And that's where I think that's the proper perspective. And I think that's perspective we all should try to have this week. The problem is, again, I was listening to your show yesterday, and you talked about how there's more pressure on Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, it sucks to me.
And you're,
that bothers me.
Then that gets you mad. It's like, well, yeah, but it's the reality.
No, it is the reality. I didn't deny that's the reality, but I'm making a point to people that it shouldn't be. We ought not be in a position where there's more pressure for Kalen.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we all agree. Florida State should not be coming off 2-10.
It's hard to have both. It's hard to say both things at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive,
right?
But it feels like once you say one thing, it takes away from the possibility that this year could be these. Listen, I'm not trying to, I'm not coaching you on how to. I'm just
you're
saying
talking about
that's
where the
why
other side's coming
why
from
they
there.
see things the way they see it is because it's both things are true.
Yeah,
it sucks that Florida State is where it is right now.
Well, it sucks that Kalen DeBoer, who went 9-3 in the regular season last year, is under more pressure to win this game than the coach who went 2-10.
Right.
That is the expectation of two very different.
Well, but I don't think that's why I don't think it's the expectations of the schools. It's just the reality.
It's the reality of 2025.
That guy's replaced Nick Saban. They've been winning national championships every other year for the last decade.
Sure.
Florida State has been up and down, and where you were last year, you just need some hope. To your point, man, this game, just give the fans some hope in this game that there's a reason to watch the last 11 because most people didn't watch the last 5 or 6 games last year.
And remember, and I would only point this out. The last thing I'll say on this, I mean, what I'm doing in that situation is that's a great lament. Like it's more of a frustrated lament than it is like, oh, well, they'll never be good again. Of course they'll be good again. It's Florida State. I mean, they'll be good again. Right. Mike may or may not be here, but Florida State will be good
again. Could be this year.
Could be.
Could be this year, Gabe.
And then we'll get into an argument. What's good?
Well, yeah. Well, we can never win. We can never win.
Then we'll get into an argument. What's good? Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, let me
picture this. It's midnight and you're lying in bed, scrolling through this new website you found, hitting the add to cart button on that item you've been looking for. After 15 minutes, you decide you've done enough damage to your wallet and decide to check out. But you remember that your wallet or credit card is in the living room and you don't want to get out of bed to go get it. Just as you're getting ready to abandon your cart, that's when you see it. That purple shop button. That shop button that has all of your payment and shipping information saved, saving you time while you stay warm in your bed. That's Shopify. And there's a reason so many businesses sell with it, because Shopify makes everything easier, from checkout to creating your own storefront. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Mattel and Seminole Headlines to brands just getting started. Shopify gives you that leg up from day one with hundreds of beautiful, ready-to-go templates to express your brand style and forget about all the code. Tackle all those important tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics and more. Spread your brand's word with built-in marketing and email tools to find and keep new customers. And did I mention that iconic purple Shop Pay button that's used by millions of businesses around the world? It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. Your customers already love it. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/warchant. Go to shopify.com/warchant. Shopify.com/warchant.
Tallahassee. Boost circulation, reduce inflammation, sharpen your focus, and more. Elite athletes do it daily, and now you can too. Experience the power of cold therapy in your own home. Come see the Vigor Cold Plunge, available only at Pinch a Penny on Capitol Circle Northeast and Greer Road.
Hey everybody, this is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. Been in the industry now for 22 years. I just made the move over to the nation's largest retail lender, Cross Country Mortgage, here to serve you in 7 states, including Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and the state of Texas. Here to offer better service, better rates, and if you were thinking about buying or if you've been on the fence and been waiting to call me, now is the time. You can still find me at loansforknowles.com. That is, again, loansforknowles.com. I've helped thousands of fellow Knowles get into their dream home, and I can't wait to help you get into yours. Give me a call today. I'm at 954-369-6171, or go to loansforknowles.com. Again, that's 954-369-6171, and that's loansforknowles.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 373031.
Some men follow the crowd. Others take the long way, the wayward way. At thewaywardgent.com, we've curated the gear, gadgets, and grit every respectable man needs, from the fairway to the fire pit. We've identified the top-rated Amazon finds, so you don't have to. No fluff, just the good stuff. Visit thewaywardgent.com for the man who's not afraid to live a little off course. Thewaywardgent.com.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
So do we think it's going to be a close game in the fourth quarter on Saturday?
I do. Yeah.
I think there's a decent to good chance of that. I don't know that I'm convinced 100%. I really think it's going to depend on whether or not they can stop the run. If they can keep Alabama from just kind of running it down their throats and then them getting behind, them feeling they have to do some things offensively that they don't want to do, Florida State speaking, then I think that's the path that, it could be a really close game. I don't think, I think Florida State's got some success offensively. I'm just still worried about the defense.
Somebody I did the Bama Online questionnaire. They asked like 5 questions about just this game and this Florida State team, and like what players or what would be the reason that Florida State can slow down Alabama defensively? Like what gives them a chance? Because they were last in the conference last year in rush defense, but first in pass defense. So there you go, Adam Fuller. It's because nobody had to throw the ball. The games were over in the third quarter there.
We can just run it and get whatever we want.
Stop with all the negativity.
But I think your answer, hopefully, is it's not one player or one position. I think it was a position group. Which position group will have the biggest impact? I'm like, I don't see that really being a thing. I think it's Tony White. Like if Tony White can confuse that offensive line and confuse that quarterback, that gives you a chance to overcome some physical disadvantages you might have on your defensive front, right? Like that's the whole purpose of it. Be confusing. D-Rob did a great breakdown of Tony White's defense. That's on our channel. Go watch it. Deuce Robinson's dad, I guess we call him now.
Let Deuce score for Florida State first.
Yeah.
Until then,
you're right.
It's
Dominic Robinson's son.
Yeah,
D-Rob had a touch. He had some big plays in the swamp. 14, buddy. And he caught a touchdown in that game too. But he was breaking down the defense, and it can be very, very confusing. It comes from all angles. They take different angles on the defensive line. You're not going to just overpower Alabama, clearly. But Tony White could be the X factor in slowing that offense down, right? More so than a player.
And something that came to me last night when we were doing the smash that I hadn't really thought about it this way before, because we've all been curious about the linebackers. Some of these guys are guys we've seen play a lot of football. Hard to be super excited about what they're going to do. Elijah Herring, I think most people believe in him because he's done it at 2 other schools, racked up a lot of tackles. But I've wondered the way he talks about this linebacker core and says it's the heart of this defense. He loves the way these linebackers play. When we hear Mike Norvell say it, nobody really takes it seriously. But the fact that Tony White has been so hard on other position groups, and so willing to throw other players under the bus, the fact that he's consistently talked up the linebackers probably should make us believe in the linebackers, right?
His system certainly requires these guys to fly around and make a ton of plays, and sometimes that's a safety, sometimes it's a linebacker. But yes, when you watch all of the games and stunts that they do up front, it's a requisite of these linebackers at that point to come up and make plays, because you're getting opportunities in one-on-ones because they cross the face of the center, and then they'll run a game in which they invert the tackles, and all of a sudden you've got a chance to go make a play, and it's going to be paramount that you do. I think Elijah Herring will be a tackling machine in this defense. Here's the thing I got excited about. Now here you go. Here's something positive. Legitimately,
Thank God.
Here's
Thank
legitimately
God.
something that when I saw the depth chart, I went, how about that? Good for him, and I bet I know why. So Omar Graham beats out Stephon Thompson, who played in this defense at Nebraska.
And Syracuse.
He wasn't overly productive, certainly not at Nebraska.
He was productive a few years ago at Syracuse. He was not
he didn't do much of anything at Nebraska. But so I thought there was a chance that he wouldn't be, a dude. He'd play, right. But yeah. And I thought he would aid Tony in teaching the other linebackers this. But Omar is a guy that's never really been healthy. And we've had snapshots of Omar when he is. And he's not a bitch. Like, that guy will trigger and go make a play. Now, obviously, you can tell I'm inferring some other guys that were playing there did not trigger and did not go make plays. So
and
whenever
they were blanks.
Well, I stopped short of that. All right? But what I'm saying is Omar was impressive in little tiny snippets, and it's why it was frustrating, because he was never quite right. Also, I don't think that scheme was set up well for Omar. I think
that's a big part of it.
That's a huge part of it. You are going to have to come up and hit people. That's why they love Earl Little Jr. He's not a linebacker, but he can play this role of a hybrid sort of player in this defense, that rover. I do think that those linebackers have had a good camp, and I do think Tony would not dare in his scheme put out guys that showed any sort of timidity to make tackles and to be aggressive about swarming the football. Remember the first clip we heard from Tony White when he arrived at Florida State? They had that, I think it was intentional, but they had that clip in the meeting room where it was like almost looked like a secret recording in which he is saying, where are we going to be? Where's our ass going to be? Where the football is. I better see every one of you at the football after every play. Players have said it's really hard if you're not in great shape and you're not having a great day to be in the frame, but they count it. They look to see, are you in the frame on every play? When they go back and watch film, where are you? Where were you? Why weren't you around the ball at the end of this play? It has to have been ingrained. And I bet you Omar was always in frame because he's healthy finally. And this system is better suited for him.
Yeah,
I do believe.
John Papuchis, the linebackers coach, talked about today about how that's what he did in high school. And I remember doing the recruiting breakdown with Dominic Robinson 4 years ago when they signed him. I think that's when we did it. He talked about how he's a guy that's just always around the football, always makes plays on the football. And when you watched him in high school, that's what he did. He kind of played defensive end at his size. And this is going to be more of that for him. He's going to be more closer to the line of scrimmage. You watched him last year, and it felt like there were a lot of times he just got washed out. Like, it wasn't like –
Absolutely.
And so I think these guys may be put in better positions, and that should give you
I think it gives you – look, if you had the same defense you had last year and you just tried to match up, it's going to be a tough even with new players. These aren't elite defensive linemen that you have here. Williams might be a guy. Daryl Jackson is a guy. Everybody else is a question mark.
Daryl still has to prove
exactly right, 100%. But he has the ability to handle, not be overwhelmed by Alabama, even Alabama.
Correct. He has the raw tools.
Yes, none of these other guys we know that about. And if you just line up 4 down linemen and say beat your blocks, yeah, man, good luck. You're going to get pushed out of the way. This gives you a fight, just like I think Tommy on the other side gives you a fighting chance because he is such a unique wild card to try to defend. This defense is a unique wild card. It can confuse you, and it can cause you only need 2 game-changing type plays where he's confused and he gets blindsided and he fumbles, or he just throws it up for grabs and it's a pick 6. That stuff can happen with a defense like this. It is not vanilla. There is some real confusion to it.
Yeah, I do. I want to warn, I think it is a boom or bust defense early on if you don't have a lot of depth. And I think that you're going to take some risks that lead to havoc and create big plays for the defense, a lot of negative plays, sacks. Maybe you force a turnover because of it. Awesome. We haven't seen one around here in years. It'd be really cool to see a turnover. But I also believe that if you take a certain chance and a certain risk and call it a certain way, now I know everybody's going to say, well, that's any defense, Jeff. No, some are a little bit more risk averse. This is a situation you're going to take chances, and if they call the right play into it, it could be a huge play.
Honestly, last year's defense was risk averse.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't give up a bunch of 80-yard plays. Yeah.
They didn't want to get beat over the top. This isn't that.
Yeah.
This is not a risk-averse defense. They're willing to take chances to create havoc, but you can get burned doing that. That's like anything else. Obviously, certain styles of play lend itself to that.
Yeah, I think we'll know. In the first half whether or not they can whether or not this is going to be a game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I think we'll know probably by the end of the first quarter, just because they have to be able to get off the field. They
wouldn't that be nice?
And listen, man, it's a question.
Sure.
Because I'm not expecting big things out of Ty Simpson, their quarterback, even though they've got great weapons at receiver and tight end. But I do think, they're going to try to establish the run. And if they can do that,
you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough day.
We haven't even talked about what just happened. Literally broke during the show. I don't know if you saw it, but Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I was too busy thinking about Florida State.
I know. It's big news.
He's
big
off
news.
the market.
That my phone was blowing up in the last segment, and I'm like, what is going on? I need to check. And of course, it was Stephanie and other people in a group text.
My ability to stream together negative thoughts to bring to the table.
Yeah, and then here we are with Taylor Swift. That's hey, man, love matters.
Let me do this because we're up against it, but I have ignored 3 contributors.
Let's go.
That's not what I'm about.
No.
I may be negative, but I don't do that. I'm not going to do that. All right, so let's start with Seth. 20 bones to the coffers, guys. There you go, right, Seth. Well done. I think everyone agrees 10-2 would be amazing.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, 10-2. Would it feel less amazing if the 2 losses are to Miami and Florida?
No,
I don't think it would. I wouldn't love it. I'm not excited
come
about
on.
those
that
2
means
losses.
you won at Clemson,
and
then you won your opener against Alabama.
Yeah, you're going to be all right.
You're going to lose to somebody.
Which version of 10-2 has you absolutely ecstatic?
And also that Florida game, you're 10-1 going into the Florida game, and you've got Charlotte the next weekend. So you can just rest all your dudes and be like, this game doesn't matter. You are probably going to get rid of it next year anyway. So let's get – by the way, Georgia's got to be off the table now, right? Now the SEC is going to 9 conference games. But, yeah, the Florida game doesn't even matter anymore. Charlotte or bust.
You know, this is really weird to say, and it's absolutely sacrilege. But what Florida State's been and what we're trying to be, and you're trying to change the minds of many who would maybe balance Florida State with another school that they're thinking about attending. Think about the wallop, the impact you have if you beat Alabama to start the year and go on the road late in the year and beat Clemson, who's been the big dog in this conference in what feels like forever.
You can survive a home loss to Miami.
I hate saying it, but it feels like that's the more impactful 10-2.
Agreed. 100%. 100%.
Like it. All right, I know you don't want to say, but
I just think it depends on who you're talking to, because I think old school Florida State.
Keith Cottrell's going to tell everybody that if we lose every game and beat Florida, it's a good year, but he's wrong. And he knows he's wrong.
But also,
does it count?
Also, it really does lose a little bit of meaning if you're playing the next week for something more important,
right?
You know, so if
losing to Florida is not more important.
If you losing to Florida doesn't matter for your playoff chances, but you get to the playoff the next week by winning the ACC. Yeah, man, nobody's going to care. Nobody in Columbus I know they want to say they do.
Not true.
Nonsense. They won the national championship. They don't care that much about that game anymore.
They do care.
It doesn't.
At a bar, they're going to tell the Michigan fan across from them, hey, what's it matter, buddy? National champs.
Yeah, exactly.
And deep down, they're hurting. It's embarrassing. It's
I don't
humiliating.
think the national champions are hurting.
To a chump Michigan team.
I know.
At home.
But a month later, they weren't replaying that as they hoisted the ball.
Of course, they were rallying for the championship. It still pisses
So that's
off.
what I'm saying. It wouldn't matter to that. It doesn't matter nearly as much as it would have.
We have a couple more to get to. Real quick,
we're up against it, Ira. Come on now.
I forgot we were up against it.
I was just sneaking in one before the break so we could get back to these two at the end of the hour. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Your local news now. Here's your top-classy weather report.
From the ABC 27 First Snow Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Julianne Pretty. Although that cold front drops our overnight lows to the upper 60s, we're not going to stop our highs from reaching the low 90s for highs today. However, rested and take
Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
I don't think this is correct. There's something else happening here, boys, but being the master that I am, I queued it down and we just said, let's go. Let's
good.
Let's get to these questions.
That's what people want anyway.
Just make it happen. CJ writes, how much would a blowout loss hurt this team and the fan base? That's my biggest fear about Saturday. See, my point is that I don't think it should be. Now, there is a way of watching a game in which you could be devastated. Like if it looks like the Georgia game looked, and
boy,
yeah, that ain't good. Then you don't even belong in the same field as the upper echelon of the SEC, and that's humiliating. But short of that, I'm not going to read too much into this game. Like I don't like the matchup. I don't think it's a great matchup, and I think Florida State could lose, and we'd all be disappointed. And who knows, 34-17 or something. But I'll live with it. It doesn't portend to me that they're going to have an awful season, so long as that they don't spiral. As long as they don't,
and I don't think they would.
No, I mean, I think that's the most important thing. Yeah. And because you can even, I mean, was it last year Georgia steamrolled Clemson at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
And then Clemson ended up making the playoff.
Yeah.
So your season's not over. The problem
it wasn't a steamroll in this.
First half was really good.
It was a close game. It's just Clemson's offense did nothing. They scored 3 points or something.
There's a scenario where it gets out of hand. But I feel like you'll be able to see there's signs of, okay, guys competing.
Yeah, every play.
And
the talent has been upgraded.
There are some things you could build on against a different team. Like maybe this is just a terrible matchup.
Well, the biggest problem about there are a lot of big problems, but I thought the biggest problem about last year was by the middle of the season, you had no hope to even be competitive. Right. You had quarterbacks that could not get it done. They couldn't throw to anyone. They couldn't be protected, and they would curl into sacks all the time.
The Memphis game was... At that point,
even then, it was a close game, though. But yeah, you knew things were bad then. And then they rallied right after that. I don't know if you remember, and got that big win over Cal, and they were about to beat SMU until the face mask throw.
I knew that was coming. Yeah, he was going to tell you what a great game, what a big win the Cal won was.
Yeah, and they but after that, once DJU got hurt, there was no chance of even being competitive, and that just made it worse and worse. So yeah, it's a small bar to have to clear, but yeah, if you look like you can play and you're competent, and there's reason for hope, because there is reason for hope. Even if you don't play well in this game, even if it's not all that competitive, the point being teams do get better.
Yeah.
And you have a really big runway up into the Miami game. You have 2 walkovers, and then you have a game you should win on the road, but will be a test. And if you go into Miami 3-1, there is renewed hope, especially if you look like you've got some real dudes. There's renewed hope for that game. Now it could be crashed again that day, but that's what gives me a hope about this season.
I do like the makeup of a lot of these guys. Like we talked to Randy Pittman.
Pittman is impressive.
He's a dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you just know if you're walking into a bar with that dude on your side,
good about it.
You feel good about your chances about what you're going to roll into.
Agreed.
And I think they've got some of those guys on this team, a lot more of those guys than they did a year ago. And again, man, we talk about a lower bar, and you don't ever want to just say, "Hey, do we at least try and compete?"
This is what I mean.
That's how it does.
Easy.
I know.
You see how easy it is to get mad about that?
But you'll feel better about that than anything you watched last year at any point.
I agree with that. And I predict that they will be that way, that they will be tougher, that they will play harder, that there will be an intensity that didn't exist for the vast majority of last season. And I think they'll execute better too. It won't just be that, hey, they're out there as a bunch of tryhards. I think they're going to actually execute and win some games. I don't know that they're going to match up real well here. I will say, and I really keep falling back on this one. Corey brought this point up a while back. I think a lot of people are, if they're going to create the path to an upset, they're going to say, all right, you got a defense that's predicated on confusing and bringing pressures and different looks on every play. You got 3, and all of a sudden you're rushing 5. You got 5 up front, you rush 6. They do a lot of different things, right? If Ty Simpson struggles early and turns it over, and this place gets crazy, and all of a sudden those kids have a reason to believe they can win that game, something good happens for them early. It's not just that Florida State's players and fan base and that energy will be different. It's that Ty Simpson will have to wonder, am I even good enough? Yeah. I mean, I couldn't beat out that slap ass last year who can't throw a forward pass successfully half the game. So he would have to start to wonder at that point. And maybe because a whole article written about it today at ESPN.com about the culture and how south the culture went at Alabama last year. Well, okay, go ahead and start with a pick six and a couple of listless drives and have some of the members of that offense, Alabama, look side-eye at that quarterback. You might have something. So I think that's the path, is creating that kind of doubt early.
And that can happen, but the real positive to this Florida State's chances this year is I do think the offense is going to be able to put up some points. They're going to be able to move the ball against most teams they play.
Let's go.
Believe that. Well,
I wonder about that against Alabama, though.
Well, we'll see.
I think it's a caveat.
But compared to last year, even if the other team didn't look good or was rattled, it didn't matter. Yeah. DJ Lagway didn't play well against them. Cam Ward didn't play well against them. They couldn't take advantage of it because they knew they could never do anything when they got the ball back. The stupid, but the game against Duke. I mean, they didn't even have to try.
Game. It was a stupid game.
Once you got in a hole, once you had those 3 turnovers and they're up,
done.
There's no fear from the other team. They don't have to ask anybody to even make a play. So yeah, man, if you have an offense that can do something that has a pulse, which I do believe this one will, then it puts more pressure. Because if you can't score, it doesn't matter what he does early. They can just run the ball.
But the question, I think the question was about if they get blown out, what does it mean? Like then that's not a good look, and obviously fan interest will wane significantly. Just going back to the point of the question, I whether they beat Alabama or are competitive with Alabama, they do have a chance to lift hope back up over the next month.
But to the questioner's point here, how would it hurt? I'll tell you how it hurt. That's a half-empty stadium and 2 listless games that don't matter, and a fan base that is thoroughly downtrodden.
100%. But it's awful. It makes the next month not great.
Yeah.
But if you win those 3 games, let's hope.
Human nature.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, it will not be half-empty and it will not be listless for Miami.
Sydney Sweeney fan club wants specifically to ask Ira a question. So
Let's go.
Here you go, Ira. Right. Do you know what we will get with Norvell? Last year was unforgivable. I'm not impressed with the depth chart. Anything less than 9 wins, and Norvell needs to go. Not really much of a question, save for that first part.
I think
we're going to get with Norvell.
I think he fired that off when I said you don't know what you're going to get with a new coach. Like if you go hire a new coach.
Oh, and he said, what are we going to get with Norvell?
That's a fair point.
Last year was unforgivable. The year before they won 13 games. So
they won 19 in a row before that.
So again, last year was a complete disaster. Did everything wrong. Every decision they could have made, they made poorly, and then they had bad luck on top of it. I'm not excusing anything that happened last year. What I am telling you is if he can be the guy he was before when people were panicked that he might take the Alabama job, if you can get back to being that guy, you'd much rather do that and try to help make that happen. That's why, listen,
you don't want to, the alternative sucks.
That's why the administration signed off on, fire these assistant coaches you want to fire these coordinators, bring in Gus Malzahn, bring in Tony White.
You think that was the administration giving him the go-ahead, or do you think that was the administration telling him? Firing these guys.
Yeah, no, I think it was probably some of that, but they had to agree to pay these people to prop you up. You know what I'm saying? Like if they thought that Mike Norvell possibly couldn't do it, then because listen, that's what they did after year 1 with Willie Taggart. They said, we need to get you better coaches around you. Then when they saw that didn't matter, then they fired him. This is the chance here with Mike Norvell. We're going to get you better coaches because we think you can still turn this around. But if you don't now, then you're going to have to make a change.
Well, it's a sink or swim year. I mean, they gave – we know from watching other programs from afar, I bring this up all the time, if you want to remove the emotion from the equation because we all get so upset and it's polarizing when it's Florida State, just look at any other program in which a coach has to fire his assistants after a dreadful year. What do we say? Well, this is it, buddy. His back's against the wall. There's nobody left but you.
You can't fire the guys you hired to replace the guys you fired.
And they went and got you good dudes in the coaching staff.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, man, I mean, this is it. This is a show and prove year. I think from that standpoint, I am relieved to know we're going to have some clarity. It may not be with the clarity we want, but we're going to have some clarity. I mean, if they go out there and they stink, I'm not talking about this game, I'm talking about for the season, well, then you know what you have to do. You have to move on. And there are people who tell you that no matter what they do, if it's bad, they will not fire Norvell. I disagree.
And that's crazy
talk.
And
person talk.
And people, even people that are in the business that I respect, will say, oh, well, next year's schedule's so hard. There's no reason you're not going to hire a new coach
to take those losses.
Like, the hell they aren't. You won't be able to sell a season ticket.
There'll be 50 people there.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry. We're creeping into some negativity. How's about?
It's your fault. You did this to me.
The real question is,
my fault.
When they go 11-1, what's the extension?
Who's the extension? Who's the loss to?
It's probably going to be at Clemson on a last-second field goal.
All right.
It just comes up short. Weinberg tries a 71-yarder at the horn that hits the crossbar.
We couldn't get him any closer to the 71 yards.
No, you got the ball with 11 seconds left.
All right.
But, do you give him an extension if he goes 10-2?
No.
Oh, well, that's a question we need to ask. When they have this great year.
You might give Malzahn and Tony White extensions.
It's got as good a chance as him going 4-8. He's got as good a chance as going 10-2.
Yeah, no
Probably
extensions.
a better chance, honestly.
No
Can
extensions.
you imagine?
No extensions, period. Okay,
Ever
all right.
again.
Until 2030.
That's it. That guy ruined extensions for everybody. There's a guy somewhere in the English department that's about to timidly ask for a raise. Hey,
They're like,
buddy,
no, did you?
We gave it to Mike.
We don't do tenure anymore. We don't do raises.
Yeah, you learned your lesson there. But yeah, it's
We answered him.
But I'm genuinely,
I missed another one.
genuinely excited about this game and this season. But I am excited about this game just to see what it looks like.
James B, thank you, brother. Just now saw it. Is Cam injured or just that far down the depth chart? I'm going with that
James
far
B
down
in the house. Thank you, buddy.
James B.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm going with that far down the depth chart.
Yeah, and it's not that far.
It doesn't matter. We don't have to sugarcoat it. He's way down on the depth chart.
There's two guys, and
but he's kind of where was he supposed to be? Like, he's not ahead of Cromall. He's not ahead of Sawchuck or Roydell, and Jalen Lucas is his own thing.
I mean, in theory, he's the second year. He should be ahead of Cromall, but he's not.
Yeah, from a recruiting standpoint,
he's not as good.
There was a lot.
He was highly touted.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's a guy. Again, you've had not a lot of success with these high-profile recruits you've landed, and so people want to see him.
The list.
And we'll see, man. I don't know whether or not he's a great fit for Gus's offense. And Cromall is different, man. Cromall is special, so I'm not shocked by that at all. But it's not a great sign.
I like that Jalen Lucas is going to be a big part of that plan.
I'm excited for him. It means he's healthy. And listen, that kind of player in this offense, you would think would have to be utilized. They better utilize him.
They got some weapons, man.
I mean, you think about. He's very, very I don't know what his speed is, but he is a jitterbug.
Quick guy.
Castellanos is one of the fastest quarterbacks in the country. Squirrel White is one of the fastest wide receivers in the country. And then you got Danzy for packages, who's probably the fastest player in the country. And I trust that because they had speed last year. Malzahn will get the ball to these guys with an ability to do something with it. I think he's the one that fills me with the most confidence about anything is that he doesn't have crappy offenses. He just doesn't.
But it's not just that, though. It is. They went out and got four transfer linemen.
Dude, they got weapons.
They've got dudes at receiver. They've got better. I mean, it's just a better team on offense. I'm confident.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Just stay healthy. Hour 2 headliner questions coming up. Hang in.
Make this summer a Swain summer. Choose Swain Pools and Spas for all your regular monthly or weekly scheduled pool maintenance, repairs, restoration, and renovation. Swain Pools and Spas is Tallahassee's pool everything store. Whether it's a deep clean, a resurfacing, or a full refresh, Swain's team will have you swimming, not skimming, in no time. Make a splash this summer and have a Swain summer. Find out all the ways Swain Pools and Spas can upgrade and maintain your backyard. Online at SwainPools.com. That's SwainPools.com.
Swain Pools and Spas, you'll be soaking up the fun when you want to. Swain Pools and Spas.
And right next to Swain Pools and Spas is Tallahassee Car Care, the only repair shop where you can take a dip while we repair your whip. Tallahassee Car Care, right next to Swain Pools and Spas.
Water is your home's worst enemy. It finds cracks, soft spots, and weaknesses. But not on our watch. At Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing, we're veteran-owned and built different, driven by detail and the pursuit of excellence. We install seamless gutters, underground drainage, and waterproofing systems that don't fail. Because when you live with discipline, water doesn't stand a chance. Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing. Visit guttersolutions.net. With us, it's personal. A roof isn't decoration. It's your home's first line of defense. At GSWP Roofing, we treat every build like it's mission critical. We're GAF Master Elite certified, led by a former Marine. And we don't cut corners. We execute with discipline, precision, and materials that hold the line. Storm after storm, year after year. Repairs, replacements, full installs. This is roofing done by the book. No excuses, no shortcuts. GSWP Roofing. Online at gswproofing.com. With us, you're covered.
Number CCC 1335048.
Tired of watching baseball score updates on your phone? Get off the bench and head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is your home for all MLB games in-state or nationwide. Enjoy the coldest drinks, Tallahassee's best wings, and watch your team in crystal clear comfort. And if you'd like to compete, come by Tuesday nights for CP Trivia and Thursday nights for Beer Bingo, where you can walk home with cold, hard cash. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Many orthodontists in Tallahassee can straighten a smile, but at Birch Orthodontics, they're dedicated to providing the finest care possible. The experienced and friendly staff is trained in all of the latest techniques. So whether you need standard treatment like braces or Invisalign, or you have a more complicated case requiring extra attention, Birch Orthodontics is here for you. Set up your free consultation today by visiting birchorthodontics.com, BURCH orthodontics.com, or call 850-877-1692. At Birch Orthodontics, they create beautiful smiles that last a lifetime.
WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee. This is Real Talk 93.3. You're listening to Seminole Headlines with Ira, Corey, and Jeff. Stay tuned for more headlines coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
Florida quarterback DJ Lagway has struggled with a calf injury during training camp, but he will start at quarterback with the Gators open the season against Long Island University of the FCS in Gainesville on Saturday. Lagway went 6-1 as the Gators starting quarterback as a true freshman. No early line of that matchup with the FCS Sharks. 13.5 points to spread. Alabama laying that number at Florida State Saturday at Doak Campbell Stadium. 50.5 the total. Thursday, Boise State a 6-point favorite at South Florida, while UCF hosts Jacksonville State as an 18.5 point home favorite. Score $500 in rewards at the GBank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. For more sports betting news and information, go to vsin.com. Mike Son at Real Talk 93.3.
If your end of summer plans don't include a trip to Macy's, then you're missing out, because our Labor Day sale has huge savings to wrap up the season in style, like dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and INC, 100 and under, plus just what you need for fall, like Levi's for your whole crew, 30 to 40% off. It's also the best time to update your home with our lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and more. Hurry in. Macy's Labor Day sale is going on now. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp, Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Your body is a masterpiece designed to heal itself from within. Learn how to maximize your health by tuning in to Phenomenal Health with me, Dr. Ryan Finn. Saturdays at 2:30. Experience true health today and call Finn Chiropractic at 386-7700.
Injured? Call attorneys who care. Facing Brooks. Offices, Tallahassee.
Go custom with your window coverings with help from Budget Blinds of Tallahassee. Budget Blinds brings their showroom to your home with dozens of color and pattern choices. Just tell them what you love and they'll make it happen. From designing custom draperies and Roman shades to color matching your blinds and shutters.
I'm Gary, the local owner of Budget Blinds Tallahassee, where you get beautiful style and expert service for any budget. Call 668-4835 for a free consultation online at budgetblinds.com/Tallahassee.
Some men follow the crowd. Others take the long way, the wayward way. At thewaywardgent.com, we've curated the gear, gadgets, and grit every respectable man needs, from the fairway to the fire pit. We've identified the top-rated Amazon finds, so you don't have to. No fluff, just the good stuff. Visit thewaywardgent.com for the man who's not afraid to live a little off course. Thewaywardgent.com.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
It's time for Seminole Headlines, featuring Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron, managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols, and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
Hour number 2 headliner questions coming your way. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. The boys are here. Of course, it's game week, and we are pumped. We want to say thanks to Dr. Birch Orthodontics. She was awfully kind, reached out and sent a text at the end of last week, and was just encouraged by how the coverage is gone and where she's not a baby.
I didn't get that text.
She's not a baby out there crying about some negativity on the board. She's like,
get that text.
you're brave and kicking ass, Jeff. Keep it going.
I think Dr. Birch must have forgot that the JCS show is on too, because
she
couldn't be listening to your show.
She thought it was fantastic. She's like, hey,
she said you were brave.
She was like, brave. Thank God you're honest.
She knows
the rest of these fluff bunnies are out here trying to.
Dr. Birch will keep it real.
Yeah,
There's no question
time
about
it is, buddy.
That's how I like my sports talk show host.
Yeah.
Brave.
That's not the first time it's been said.
Just valor. You just have valor that's hard to
bravery.
explain.
It's uncanny.
Much like she is as an orthodontist.
That's right.
She's not afraid to go in there and make some stuff happen.
It is weird though when she's
experimental or not.
Yep.
After she heard you whine for 2 years that the Alabama game should be canceled. After she heard you say the Georgia game shouldn't be played.
Well, it definitely shouldn't now. But anyway,
and after she heard your fear of walking into a Circle K in broad daylight,
she thinks you're
it's weird that she doesn't call you brave.
Well, right, yeah. I guess by comparison, maybe Jeff does come off as brave.
I think she's like, man, thank goodness Jeff's in there driving that thing.
Yeah, as a backbone.
Corey's over there scared to death of the lights
in the corner.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah.
But yeah, Birch Orthodontics is the best place in town for I mean, listen, we're not going to eliminate it to Tallahassee, but this is where most of our listeners are.
Yeah,
you're here in Tallahassee. True. And if you're in Tampa or if you're in Jacksonville, come on up and get your teeth fixed. Dr. Birch and her
Especially for
staff.
a game week. Like you could come up a day early and get it done on a Thursday.
Maybe Dr. Birch will be open on Saturdays to treat some people before the game.
No, I don't think she's going to want to do that.
Probably
she
doesn't.
might. Maybe if the price is right, but I don't know, buddy.
I wonder what
seems a
the
bit much.
price would have to be.
Yeah.
But in general, they do tremendous work, great customer service, some great staff, all the latest technologies, not just braces. That's what we talk about a lot because that's what all our kids had. But they'll do all the different orthodontic procedures you might need, and they do it just as affordably as possible. Payment plans. Free consultations.
They'll work with you is what you're saying.
They're
just
working
awesome. With you.
Yeah. They're not. It's not one of these big conglomerates where a lot of these medical offices get bought up by chains now. It's Dr. Birch and her staff for over 20 years doing it for the community.
Amen.
Support them as well.
Maurice, you're coming up, buddy, and we can't wait to celebrate.
I mean,
there's a lot to talk about.
The news we've got to talk about with Tavello.
Yeah, I wanted to
set it apart. Yep.
Set it apart.
Hammer people.
Royce wants to know the thoughts on the starting kick returner, Roydell Williams.
He's going to safely handle the ball.
Oh, okay. So there was so dead silence there. I thought there was.
Yeah, why weren't you responding? I didn't even know he was the starting kick returner.
Yeah, I think he's one of the two. I think he's one of the two. They usually have one that's more of a blocking back, and then
Singleton is
Singleton or Lucas are going to be your top return guys.
I'll let Singleton do that.
But I think the way he was asking the question was why would he be back there? But yeah, there's usually a blocking type.
Yeah, he's probably not there to catch a lot of them.
Somebody's happy about the cool weather this morning. Agree with you, Sir Stuart Wallace. How in the hell are so many people on the beat asking the question as to who Hebert is? He's a hell of a special teams player. Lays the wood. The coordinators are finally giving him a chance. He blew up the other prima donnas and made things happen, according to this guy. Those are his words.
I will say this, man. Those two kids, him and EJ Cottrell, it is kind of a shame that it's become the story it's going to be, and so much so that I'm going to write a story about it.
Well, but
but
Cottrell's been mentioned a lot.
Yeah, but never as a base defense player.
Right.
And I thought he should have been. Again, man, as bad as they were at linebacker last year, how could you not give him a chance?
Give him a chance because he's at least mean.
I agree with you.
He's just ornery.
And I complained about that. I agree with you. But a lot of people didn't know who the other kid was.
Yeah, Donnie Hebert was the people that didn't know. But we've seen him on special teams too. A lot of people don't watch special teams all that closely.
Right.
But I think it is a cool story. And listen, man, I think those guys can play a little bit. What the question's going to be when they're on the field with an elite athlete from Alabama, can they do what they need to do?
They got done a disservice where you could normally say good for them and champion that. People got caught up in the failures of the 23 class, and they see the kids that aren't here and the big names that are gone or didn't live up to hype.
Which kind of leads to trashing them.
Yeah, and then so what happens is they get like, oh, really? So you have a walk-on and you're too deep? And I understand that sentiment when you're playing Alabama, but it does a disservice to the kid.
There's also, I did go back and check. There's 52 names on the 2 deep. There's a lot of people on there.
Yeah,
so you're going to have some guys on that maybe you weren't expecting.
Sure.
But there's a lot of people on it's not whatever that'd be, Would that be 44 guys you would be expecting?
Right. But you're kind of doing the same thing right there. You're saying like they're
You know,
only
I
on
don't
it.
know.
because they're
I'm
perfect
saying
guys.
putting too much stock into people on a depth chart. I think it's a nice reward for them. And I will be honest with you, the Cottrell kid can play. I first real game against Alabama, maybe not so much, but you made a great point. Like we saw him the last 2 years in practice. He made a lot of plays.
Yeah.
And he's mean. Randy Pittman brought him up today about when we first did, I don't know what drill he was talking about. He would snatch me and be kind of really physical with Randy, where Randy had to adjust to that.
Right.
And then he started talking to him like, what are you doing?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's he's good for the program. Cottrell specifically I'm talking about because I noticed him more than Hebert.
But I think both.
But I mean, I just noticed Cottrell more than Hebert, so I feel more comfortable talking about
I think
him.
I've seen Hebert in a couple fights.
Yeah,
So-
but they add that stuff, man. They are not they are not nice on a football field, but you need some of that.
Don't you think? I really believe that Tony White's number one thing is dudes that will fight. I really think he cares more about that than almost anything else, and I think it's reflected in that depth chart.
I think it is too. I think messages have been sent, but not for the sake of sending messages. I think it's this is the deal.
Right,
I asked you to reach this level. You didn't do it. You'll sit your ass. I don't know who you are. I didn't recruit you, but you do what I asked you to do every day. You'll play. And this is the way it works. And we begged for that.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, again, the roster's the roster, and you can complain about a lack of talent on the roster, period. Across the board, you can. But at the same time, man, you can't watch what we watched a year ago and beg for intensity to be ratcheted up, to have a physical camp, to have it be a meritocracy, and that only the guys, I don't care if they're seniors, but players that are going to play hard, play fast, and hit. And then you get it. You know, you can't complain about that. I mean,
Robert in the chat just brought up James Williams went to Nebraska as a walk-on.
Right.
And he ended up becoming one of their big pass rushing specialists. So that is the way Tony White coaches. But here's the thing I would say. Coach Henshaw's house.
Yep.
One of the stories he told me about Coach Bowden that one of my favorite stories is a coach. Sometimes Coach Henshaw, when he was a young offensive line coach, he would focus on the guys that were the most coachable, the guys that gave all their effort, that played hard, did exactly what he wanted to do. And Coach Bowden was like, that's great. And I understand why you're doing that. But that dude over there is a better athlete and a better football player if we can get it out of him.
Got to get it out of him.
You got to get it out of him too. So that's the challenge. Like it's good to embrace these guys that will fight.
Yeah.
But if you've got dudes who are super talented, you got to try to reach them
you're
too.
Being paid a lot of money.
So there's
get it
two sides of it. I'm not 100% with, man, just play the guys that play hard and are physical, because you also have to get the talent out there too.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, dead serious question. This is from Matthew. Now that he's in town, can we get a Headlines After Dark with special guest Jimbo Fisher? Donations encouraged for the kids' first fun. And you four break down the 2012 NC State game.
Oh, my word.
He also wants us to break down the Middle League Challenge. He thinks Jimbo would love that, and we can have fun with it. I don't want to ever talk about the 2012 NC State game again. We've done this before ad nauseum.
Yeah. I don't remember where we landed on the Middle League Challenge. Was it one arm behind his back or both?
It was one arm behind his back, but he was blindfolded.
That's right. And I said I would do it for two if he had both arms behind his back.
Yeah.
Well,
and everybody, Menelik Watson was an NFL lineman that was here in 2012 that
with
was a former boxer
background,
from Britain.
And he was chiseled out of granite.
Massive human being. Looked like a modern-day Ron Simmons. Just an incredible specimen.
Yeah.
And the question was, what would it take for me to get in a ring with him? Yeah. What would his disadvantage have to be? And we landed on he'd have to be blindfolded and have one hand behind.
And we said not that half-ass blindfolding where you can see out the bottom.
No, he really legitimately can't
see.
But I feel like I wouldn't get in there if he had an arm free. It would be two arms.
Then the problem is, the inherent problem with all of it is I just don't feel like you could do damage. Like you could punch him. I don't know what that's.
I think a flying, like get a running start, a kick to the sternum is my only hope, like a donkey kick.
Are we making rules that you're not allowed to kick to the boys?
Yeah, I can't do that. Come on, man. It's a gentleman's. It's a gentleman's sport.
I just thought it was anything goes.
I know his
not.
hands are behind his back and he's blindfolded. It's a gentleman's. We're trying to keep it classy.
If we ever have Jimbo and Seminole Headlines, though, I don't think we're going to bring up the 2012 NC State game.
He might want to talk about it now.
Times.
Enough time has gone by.
Sure.
By the way, you guys have seen it, I'm sure, by now. That poor Little League umpire.
No.
The 3 foul balls to the boys.
Oh, no. Was that in the Little League? If it was in the World Series, I wasn't watching it.
We're doing this during the break, boys. It's making the rounds. I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Was the catcher missing it on purpose?
No. Foul balls 3 times in the same game.
In Williamsport?
No, just
a regular game.
Normal, like
I only watch Williamsport Little League.
Williamsport's unwatchable.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, no, like a real Little League. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll show
Wear
you.
A cup, man.
Well, I think he was.
Especially when you're Little League umpire, you know you can't count on those kids to make plays.
Stevens writes, is our punter, Mac Chiamento, still going to be disappointed that FSU fans don't know his name by the end of the Bama game?
Oh, they'll definitely.
How about
I bet he'll try it out there a couple
He doesn't even
times.
have to punt in this Bama game. We don't know who you are.
I wonder if is he
like
the holder?
The enthusiasm.
I didn't look to see if he was the holder.
Not sure.
I like when my quarterbacks are holders.
Back in the old days.
Joe Theismann was a holder.
Yeah, Cowboy fans don't agree with you.
By the way, that documentary on Netflix, the Cowboys documentary.
Awful, yeah.
No, it's the best one I've seen from Netflix.
No, except for that, none of it's true. That's the hard part. Like this, Jerry Jones was in control of the whole thing. It was like the Gators thing.
No, that's how they all are.
Yeah,
but they all those Netflix.
He likes being lied to.
He just wants a good narrative.
The Netflix documentaries always do that.
Yeah.
They always, who's ever in control is in control. The difference is he's not Jimmy Johnson's there talking crazy.
Of course he is
about Jerry Jones.
Right.
So is Mike. And they get into Michael. Like it's the best of those things.
Yeah,
because
it's a lot of other stuff that's not true though. That Jerry takes credit for.
All right,
but they talk about it. That's what I'm saying. They address Jerry Jones taking credit when he didn't deserve it.
Gentlemen, if FSU wins by 7+ points Saturday, what will be the first things you guys are discussing on next week's show, and what will be the national discussion? FSU is back, or Bama's in big trouble?
Bama is the national
That'll be
discussion.
the national discussion. There'll be a little bit of, all right, Florida State.
Also,
a little bit.
If they just could have been 5-7 last year, because it's not like Florida State has been off in the desert for 15 years. And oh God, they're back.
Yeah,
they were 19 straight wins.
I'm going to be forced
2 years ago.
Here we go.
But we were pretty far out in the prairie.
Yeah, well, right. But it's like it was such a bad. It was one season. We're not talking about,
but Corey,
long ago history.
The problem is, and this may be considered bringing in the negative. In the last 10 years, they've had 5 losing seasons. They've lost a lot of games,
but
man.
it's they've also shown that they can be one of the best programs in the country.
Of course, they've been bipolar.
They have been, absolutely, like Charles Haley in that. By the way, Charles Haley in that documentary is crazy. Yeah. But it's not like it's hard to imagine Florida State. Like Florida State has not just disappeared off the map.
But they've never been 2-10 bad.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's what bothers me about it's going to be all about Alabama or Florida State is back. It's like, man, they weren't gone. They weren't gone for very long. They were gone.
Corey, we're not following you on this. They were way gone.
They went into the bottom of a well. They fell into a well.
See, he's what makes me have to point out the negatives.
Next question.
But they fell into a well. You can climb out of the well, and there you are back on your property.
Sometimes you drown in the well. You don't.
They got baby Jessica. They got baby Jessica out of the well, and she's right back at her house.
Tyler writes, "Gents, I've watched from the Champions Club a few times, and it's great. But the one thing that has always bothered me is people not watching the damn game.
Well,
from everything I've seen, the new club area looks great, but I'm concerned about the same thing happening where people aren't watching the game. Thoughts?"
I think 2 things. One is I don't think it's going to be – the field's not going to be as visible from the new club, so that's going to kind of push people out. And I don't think they have as many TVs in there. Like it got to be where it was such a pleasant experience in the club, and they could also watch the game.
Yeah.
That nobody was going outside, but that's not going to be the case.
What if every 3 minutes they walk around and just did an air horn in people's face?
Go watch the game.
Like that would be like, okay, I got to get out of here. I guess I'll go back and watch the game.
You could make it.
You could make it a real negative experience.
Just turn on the heat.
Yeah.
Like for no reason.
Say the AC's
every time
broken.
I go in there, it's hot as Hades.
Yeah, it's hotter in here. It's hotter in here than it is out in the sun.
We used to want to hire people to go fill the seats in the Champions Club.
Yeah.
Maybe you could hire just annoying people to just hang out in the club.
They're everywhere, Ira. They're not hard to find.
Bring a bunch of them. We can name some friends of ours that we want to, bring them in. And then if they just start talking to people, they'll go out to their seats.
Like, all right, man, I got to go. I got to go back to the. So the new club is where now?
Well, it's kind of underneath behind the stadium. It's
but the porch thing, is it right behind the bench? Is it milling around?
That's not really like it's not like a seating area. It's just you can go down there and get drinks and stuff.
But you can hang out there.
You can hang out down there if you want, but you won't be able to see the game.
See, and what I love about that is in the Champions Club, you can't see who's in there ignoring the game. If you're out there on the patio, your rich ass is out on their patio, look with your back to the Alabama FSU game.
Frame it, blow it up.
You're
and
an
go,
embarrassment.
Look at Carl.
And
look
people can take pictures and be like, look at this guy.
They're
look
an
at this
embarrassment for spending that money.
They're an embarrassment. What are you doing?
Sure.
Watch the game.
FSU's going to love when you expose those people.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Freeze frame it, blow it up,
I'm
and
not
tweet it out.
exposing them. They're exposing themselves. You did that back in college, right? You had a couple charges.
Now's not the time. Now's not the time.
Thumper is this handle, and he writes, guys, 39 years old, born and raised in West Virginia.
Oh, all right.
He's good friends with Kevin Bauer. Played slow pitch
Bower
softball
sauce.
with
Bower
him.
sauce.
And
There you go.
college
Nice.
golf with his brother.
Oh, I never knew that was his last name.
How about that?
That makes sense.
I'm making my first trip to Tallahassee on Friday. What are some of the must-dos? Well, on Friday, you're going to go over to the CP.
Yeah,
and you're
tell them
gonna
about
meet
it, Jeff.
up-
we need
you're gonna go over
to
the CP.
talk about that.
I think you and Aslan are going to do a
We're going to do a little
podcast.
live show from it starts really at 4, where you can start getting free beer and wings if you wear a home field shirt, dealy do.
Right.
Look into that. But then at 5, we'll do a live show, me and Aslan and I, or me and Aslan, for about 30 minutes, and then it'll be a meet and greet. You can hang out. Ira, you're supposed to be there. We're all going to be the
there.
Warchant family will be there. I assume you're watching your son play football.
I was supposed to be out of town watching him play football. I think the hammy's lingering. I think I got a shot to be there, Corey.
Oh, holy
I'm looking
boy.
forward to it.
Bring Bryce with you.
Well, he'll be with the team. They're playing.
I mean,
He's not
Andre
gonna not be with the
Francois
team.
wasn't with the team when he was hurt.
Bryce isn't going to be like texting from at the CP. Go get him, boys. He'll be at the game. But the point is, if he doesn't play, and I don't think he is, then I'm excited to be at the CP because unlike Bryce, I'm not traveling to see the team play 2 hours from here if he's not playing.
Yeah, right.
I'm
You don't
just
get a
not
free
that good
ride on the
fan.
bus.
I'm just not that good a fan.
I invited Peter Collins during the town hall last
Is
night
he
to
gonna
come on
swing
out. He
by?
said he's going to try to stop by. Of course, he didn't really know what corner pocket was.
Peter, let's do some
his
shots.
It's not his normal.
Yeah.
You and me, Peter, right here, baby.
But
Let's have a conversation.
that'll be a lot of people. It'll be a big turnout. Maybe some Alabama fans will be there too, but that'll be a big turnout. And then after that,
well, let's help him out here real quick. Here's the problem. There's a lot of things if you had a whole long weekend, but you're here for the football.
you're here. It's a
You're
short
here
amount of time.
for the weekend. So go to the CP for the Friday thing. Let's get together, have a drink, everybody, whatever your cup of tea is, we'll talk.
Get the juices
Good
flowing.
times. And then Saturday's obviously game day. So I'm going to keep, even though there's a lot of places that I love throughout this great city, just take it close to the stadium, do the whole college town thing, go by Madison Social, do all the stuff.
You still send people to the Palace?
Well, I don't want him to get hurt.
Yeah.
And so you got to know how to handle yourself at the Palace a little bit.
Yeah.
Things could go south.
He might be a smoker.
local.
If he's a smoker, he might.
Well, yeah, he may be Billy Badass. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't just send people over to the Palace. I got to get a sense of who you are.
Also send him up to Indigo.
For example,
Yeah.
I would not send him. I would not send Corey to the Palace. He's afraid of gas
Corey wouldn't
stations. You
go
think
in.
he's going to make it at the Palace?
He wouldn't go in.
So, but
I'd
yes.
be like Eddie Murphy in 48 hours. There's a new sheriff in
Just
town.
walk
Just start
in.
kicking
Yeah.
indoors.
By the
That's
way,
a 44-year-old reference, everyone.
You are correct. We will be at Hotel Indigo. We will be, Tom and
That
myself.
was right after you
town.
told, that's right after you told the well story, the girl in the well.
Baby
which
Jessica
was
from like
50 years
85.
old.
Yeah,
Well
1984.
done, sir. Tell everybody why the milk carton was the choice to have
Yeah.
the missing kids. Go through that next.
What is that? Why was that?
Well, it was Adam, right? Wasn't it him?
I don't think it was.
Well,
Anyway, go ahead.
It might have been one of the others.
Yes,
but it's
one
a
of the
dated
other
reference is the
kidnapped.
point.
It is, very much.
The point is that Hotel Indigo, we're going to do the pregame for an hour, and then we're doing a meet and greet as well. Should
Right.
be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Great. You get to see the stadium from up on the 7th floor. It's gorgeous. They got drinks. They got food. It's all good.
Yeah.
Then you take it on down the road to the tailgate.
All the festivities you could want.
All the
Yep.
festivities. We got time for another question. Let's get another one here. Hey, fellas, which would you take if I could guarantee one of the 3 scenarios for our game versus Alabama?
A.
This is from Justin. He goes by 1, 2, 3, Corey, so you can't
Ooh,
go in.
loser.
So one.
Loser.
Sorry.
How about
Sorry.
that?
My fault.
1, scoring at least 21 points.
Okay.
2, creating 2 turnovers.
2 whole turnovers.
2. 3, have 175 yards for our rushing yards for our offense. Ooh, I'm taking 3.
Yeah,
I'm taking 1.
I think I'm taking 3.
I think they can get 1. Like, look, what if Castellanos has like a 60-yard? He has 90
Man,
yards,
give
but
me 175 yards.
But if he
rushing.
has 90 of them, I don't know that means that you're pushing people out of the way like we think that would.
I think you got a good chance. If you're rushing for 175 yards in this game, I think you got a good chance because of what you're going to be able to do off of it.
I kind of read the question as like, what's a better sign for the season? For the game specifically,
Take
yeah,
the
if you got
175.
175 against Alabama, because you got to assume you're going to throw for some yards.
Right.
Then yeah, you're right. For the game.
175.
Yeah.
We had it right away.
It took me a while. I got derailed a little bit,
You
much
can't-
like that Amtrak trade in 1983. Go with all the.
What year did the plane go down in the Andes and they ate each other?
That was in the 70s.
Alive?
Yeah,
You should
yeah.
reference that. Next time. There we go. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Attention all sandwich lovers. Café de Martín is bringing Peruvian fire to your lunch break with their all-new summer sandwich combos. Asado that melts in your mouth. Fried fish so fresh and crispy, it snaps. And smoked pork or chicken? Yes, please. Comboed with Peruvian fries and an iced tea for just $15. Available Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 3. Upgrade your lunch at Café de Martín in the Esposito Shopping Center. Online at cafedemartin.com.
When you need the plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to wait?
Hey guys, we really need you over here. My toddler just flushed a whole bunch of toys down the toilet and everything, and I mean everything, is backing up.
2 hours?
Hey guys, just checking in. The water has reached the hallway now and it's getting pretty deep. Can you get here anytime soon?
4 hours?
Hey guys, can you please hurry? Now my wiener dog is doing the backstroke over here and they're not known to be strong swimmers. Hey honey, grab his life jacket.
8 hours?
Oh, so now you're here.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. Our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. And now M&L Plumbing can also be your go-to for all septic tank pump-out services. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing. Your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or online at mnlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Give your business a facelift with a modern, consistent, creative brand overhaul from Curiosity Marketing Group. These days, it's not enough for your business just to have a standard website or a Google listing to reach your customers. Your business needs to stand out with eye-popping branding, modern web development, and strong marketing. And it takes a team to pull it all together. Words and websites matter. At Curiosity, we make the most of yours. Find out more at curiositymg.com.
I used to fight almost on a daily basis working on my business website. I'm a pretty smart guy, but I could never get it to function the way I needed it to, and I was losing customers because of it. That's when I called Curiosity Marketing. They listened, they understood, we collaborated, and in the end, they delivered beyond my highest expectations. Now, I can barely keep up with the work. They say the future belongs to the curious, and now I'm excited about the future of my business.
Find out more at curiositymg.com. This week's Legacy Moment celebrates the Johnson sisters, Clara and Ruth, who opened Johnson's Bakery downtown in 1958. Known for their famous sour cream pound cake and a secret cinnamon roll recipe, the sisters treated customers like family. Every morning before sunrise, they baked, laughed, and prayed together. The bakery closed when Clara passed in 2002, but folks around town still talk about the smell, the kindness, and the memories. The Johnson sisters, flour, family, and forever in our hearts. This has been a Legacy Moment, honoring the lives that shaped Tallahassee. Sponsored by Cornerstone Memorials, helping families honor their loved ones with dignity and care. Find out more online at cornerstonememorials.org. Do you know of a Tallahassee legacy that should be shared? Text the word legacy to 850-386-8255 to submit your story for the Cornerstone Memorials Legacy Moment.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
So when, Ira and Corey, did you see what I saw, which was the flyer for the different things to do on a Thursday night and a Friday night and a Saturday of the game and all that, and then notice in the corner, you're like, is that Tavello?
I got the our guy Matt Lacer texted it to me.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Hey man, are they going to be selling Tavello at Doak?" And at the time I was like, "Well, they've been discussing it, because we've been texting Maurice about it."
Yeah,
but Maurice went ahead, and it looks like they just plunged ahead without even consulting us. And yeah, man, I think Tavello is going to be at FSU football games and all sporting events. It sounds like.
All right, get it on your lips and in your mouth.
But yeah, this is
Tavello beer.
Yeah, so I'll put it up in front of the camera here. This is how all the top broadcasts do it.
This is what they pay for.
Tavello is up there in the top, and this is the official FSU announcement of what's going on. You can't even see it.
You can't see it. I'm looking right. Do it again.
You got to go real close.
I just trust this. It says Tavello.
Yeah, people screenshot it. They'll save it and zoom in.
Yeah, it's huge, man. It's huge. And I love the fact that I think they were approached because people know that they're all about the Noles.
Well, I know they were
and Lynn are
approached.
huge Noles. They support Seminole Headlines, and now they're supporting FSU athletics in a big, big way.
And they heard about it because of this show.
Well, obviously.
And the huge impact.
Yeah,
So
the
his
reach.
first great decision was starting a brewery. His second great decision was advertising on Seminole Headlines.
Yeah.
And that's what made this all possible.
I'm going to say
it's
his first was marrying Lynn.
Well, no, that's
Yeah,
not business.
No,
That's
yeah.
not business.
But yeah, no, there's actually some other stuff. Real quick, the tap room in Thomasville, because they're all about the Noles. On Saturday, they'll have FSU football on, obviously a football on all day, but they'll also have $1 off their hard seltzer, 16-ounce frozen hard seltzers, the blackberry sangria flavor, and all Rose City pints, which is their lager, are going to be $1 off as well. And then Sunday, they've got Seminole Sundays, and they're going to have half off your first round with proof that you went to the game.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nicely
That's
done.
smart.
Yeah.
Or if you tag them in a post with Tavello in a post on social media, they'll give you half off a beer as well. But go check it out up there in Thomasville.
Good job.
They don't hate me up there anymore, people. They don't hate me anymore.
that was 31 years
I'm
ago, as you
beloved
pointed
now.
out. Yeah.
And you can go up there and enjoy some Tavello and tell them that you heard about them on Headlines.
Seminole Headlines?
Seminole Headlines.
You can do it,
And
buddy.
you're going to hear more about them as you go to Florida State.
You're going to be drinking beers watching the Noles beat Alabama, Tavello. You're going to have a coffee blonde in your mouth.
Delicious coffee blonde. And you'll be celebrating by raising a Tavello can on high. Absolutely, you will. I forgot there was another contributions to our effort in here, or contribution. My dad is always reminiscing about the bar called The First. The good old First. Yes.
Spelled with a P.
That's right. When he was at FSU in the early 90s, God, I'm old. Can one of you elaborate what made it great? Well, it's a little nostalgic. You and your dad is being nostalgic in the same way I am for many of those bars, like The First or AJ's and places we used to go back in the day on the main strip there. I had a buddy.
The library. You probably went to the library.
Yep. Sure. Went to a lot of those places. But I think some of that has to do with a little nostalgia. It was awesome. I had a buddy who was a bartender there for a while. So that's why I liked it. And a little Papa Shot. You would have loved the Papa Shot there. So, yeah, it was good times. Good times.
You know, interesting story that kind of ties into the Warchant family is when the First closed. When did the First close?
Oh, God.
Long time ago,
it's
right?
a long time ago now.
Bill Hayes was quoted talking about the First closing, and now Bill Hayes owns Corner Pocket. He's in the article as William Hayes. Anyway, just thought that was interesting.
How do you see that article?
He told me about it.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about the First. He's like, yeah, a reporter actually quoted me in the story about it.
But yeah,
by the way, my favorite part of this is if you try to find the old, it closed in 92, by the way.
Yeah, he was a student. So that's why they talked to him.
Well, I would have seen Bill there back in the day, and I did. I saw him there and at CJ's back in the day. But yeah, in 92, I thought it was 93, but it was 92. But it's funny, when you pull that stuff up, you'll find a lot of stories on it.
Yeah, nostalgia, especially bars in college towns. I mean, that's the height of because I was actually on Chris Doring's show on the SEC Network on Sirius this morning, and he brought up the Purple Porpoise and a lot of the nights we spent there back in the day. So yeah, man, that's it's just what you do.
You didn't venture to the back to the Lavender Mullet?
We did plenty.
Yeah,
Here we go.
time.
Come on, I'd rather talk about Baby Jessica in the well.
Saw a lot of good fights in the Lavender Mullet. That's where the bouncers would really get after.
That's where they get. That's exactly right. Back to the questions here. You each get to coach both sides of the ball in the first half versus Bama. How are you going to attack? Oh, that was from last week. Didn't I ask this question already last week?
I don't remember it.
All right, well, then maybe I just dreamt it. You each get to coach both sides of the ball in the first half versus Bama. How are you going to attack on offense and stop them on defense?
I mean,
well, the system's the system. I mean, Gus is going to run what he does. A lot of inside zone, pop passes to the outside, try to beat you over to the top when you creep up, that kind of thing. They're going to play tempo, so we don't have to worry about that. Defensively, how are you going to approach it? Because you got to stop the run. You already said it.
I'm really curious. Yeah, I'm just really, really curious. I mean, I think they're going to have to they're going to have to dare that kid to throw the football and see what happens.
The problem is he's got good dudes to throw it to.
He does, man.
You got to trust a couple of corners. One of them, I think you feel pretty good about. I think Jerry will be up for the task, but you just,
I would like to see them. I don't want a lot of man coverage outside early. Like, if they can let them prove they're going to run the ball. You don't want to give up an 80-yard pass on the effing first play of the game to Ryan Williams.
Yourself.
Yeah. So I would let them prove it. And then if you have to sneak up, you have to sneak up.
Well, no, and I think that if they are gang tackling, if they are pursuing the ball, then you're not going to give up a lot of huge running plays.
Yeah.
You might give up a lot of 6-yard runs and 7-yard runs.
They might get, but DeBoer might get antsy. He might, or Grubb. He might get impatient. It's like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of these first downs every 3 plays. I want to go over the top.
I don't think that'll happen.
But I legitimately worry about, like, when you got a guy that's inexperienced at quarterback that has not made really any plays in his college career that have mattered, don't give him layups. And a layup to me is, Ryan Williams has one-on-one on the outside. I'm just going to throw it up to the best player on the field.
No safety.
He'll make a play. There's nobody over the top. The corner's not looking at me. The back's turned. I'm just going to throw it down. I don't want that.
And that's what's going to be different about this scheme. They're not going to be. That's what we saw a lot of the last couple of years. You're not going to see that scheme with these guys, assuming that they don't have to bring everybody up.
Jerry wants to know, good afternoon, gentlemen, will Ira do a Don Julio shot if we are to vanquish Bama?
Oh, no question.
You do a bottle.
He might do 2
I don't have
shots.
I don't have the lofty hour number 2 standards that Corey has. Corey doesn't give those out. I'll
You're
do a
going
shot.
to do hour 2 for Bama.
Oh, no.
No, we've got to talk about this. What are you talking about? That is a worthy hour number 2.
Look, as I pointed out, I covered a program that just 2 years ago went undefeated. This is nothing for me for this team to beat Alabama. It's expected, right?
It's not.
Okay, I will.
Xavier Lee and Cody Fagg beat Alabama.
Yeah. It's 13.5, and it would be stunning on the heels of 2-10 if they beat Bama. He's doing it.
Stunning to other people, not to this trio. All right, sure.
I'll
do
go.
it that
All right, good work.
That's the right thing to do, Rand.
But that's the last time I do it for anything other than a trophy.
Like an ACC championship?
Yes, correct. Or a national one. Or a Belk Bowl. Those count.
What you would do it for like a Sweet 16 appearance in basketball this year?
Sure.
Because that's not going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
I'll
but
do
there
it
you
for
go.
an NCAA tournament appearance.
Walter writes, whoa, don't say that. They could get to the tournament.
Okay. That would be awesome.
See how dismissive he was?
That would be awesome.
Hello, gents. Welcome to game week. Warning, we are playing a team from Alabama. After Bama injured DeAndre Francois and North Alabama injured Jordan Travis, and Jacksonville State sucked the life out of our dreams.
Yeah, injured everything.
How do we keep our quarterback healthy and still let him use his greatest talent? You can't play football scared. Run him, and run him some more. I don't care. That's why you brought him here.
And Auburn stole signs.
We won that game,
but there's always something bad happening with those guys.
Yeah, that's true. No, you got to run them.
It all goes back to them being mad that Bowden turned them down in '86.
Yeah, they're just trying to get retribution. I would say this though. Yeah, you have to. If you're not going to run him aggressively, then why would you even sign him?
You wouldn't have. Yeah, you wouldn't have. I'll be so freaking annoyed if that happens.
There's no way that's even a possibility.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
And I looked up the Plumlee kid from UCF 2 years ago, and he was really good. He ran for like 850 yards, but there were games where he had 22 carries. I know he's a different body type,
bigger,
but Gus is running as quarterbacks.
And the difference between Tommy and Jordan, and everybody loves Jordan, but Jordan, I always felt like Jordan was running because that's the best option on this play because there's nothing else there. Like he wasn't looking to run. Tommy's going to look to run. So I think it's not like he's going to.
I also think they'll call actual running plays for him.
You are running because that's the call.
I don't think they called a running play for Jordan the last 2 years of the season.
Even the plays that are not called, I think he will be looking to run. Whereas I think Jordan, that was kind of more of a last resort.
Make it happen. Cliff writes, best example of a player that looked the part but never produced. He said we could call it the Keith Gavin Award. Oh, come on. But
Keith Gavin catching strays out here.
How about that kickoff return against Michigan?
Yeah.
They're still talking about Ann Arbor.
Just running over
Dude
bitches.
just bounced off him.
Yeah. Now, so let's go easy on Keith, although I understand the point.
Wasn't that just a terrible decision to return?
He should never take it out. He
dropped it or
dropped
something.
it. It was delayed, and then he was like,
the other returners tell him to stay in there, and he ran right by him.
And then he trucked the dude.
Yeah.
And it was, well, there have been a few. I mean, it's football. It happens. I don't want to just steady name people out there. There have been a couple of guys.
There's plenty.
There's a lot to choose from.
There's a recent linebacker.
There's a lot to choose from.
Who looked like a Greek god. I think he's still playing college football somewhere. Yeah. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. More questions. All right, gents. We almost made it to a place where we can actually talk about the film that we've seen after a game. What result from Saturday would cause you to know to throw your hands with one of your kids outside of Doak?
To just start fighting Brady.
That was funny, by the way.
Yeah, that's
Kansas
insanity. That's funny that happened in Dublin too.
One of your kids.
Yeah.
By the way, so it's the dad that's dominating that fight,
He's on
right?
top of the
but also the son, his face is all down in a puddle. I'm like, what are we doing out here? Guys, the Guinness is not that strong.
Yeah.
They must have been drinking the whiskey.
And they must have started.
Teeling.
They must have just been going since
whiskey.
Friday afternoon and never stopped.
Good God.
I just assume it had something to do with who spent the NIL money or something. It had to be something like that.
I think maybe like the son was out of control. This is my theory. The son was out of control trying to fight an Iowa State fan that was mocking him or something.
No.
The dad, maybe. Or a Kansas State fan. Not each other. But then the dad gets in his way. Is like, Jerry, you've got, I'm not doing it. Billy. I'm not using Jerry.
Yeah.
That's a stupid name. Nobody's called Jerry anymore. Bryce.
Starting corner for Florida State.
Yeah, but it's Jeremiah. Okay, yeah, you go. Jeremiah, you've got to stop. You've got to calm down. You've got to calm down. Get off me, Dad. And then it gets physical, and then he slams him to the ground, and then it becomes a fight between those two.
I'm going to guess that the brother said to the father, I told you he can't throw. And then
told you I was the better son.
And then this is where
you're losing on national TV.
I think you're right. I think it is something along those lines.
Come on, that would be crazy.
I also would say this, man. I thought that kid is
not a good passer,
but it's just amazing because there's enough to make you. He's
there's a lot there,
little Rixian, in the sense that he gives you enough to kind of make you
wet your whistle a little bit. Yeah.
And then
you're like, what was that?
Yeah.
He missed him by 22 yards. That's not going to get it done. He was chipping the bricks on a few of those throws.
Yeah.
Buddy.
He's a nice enough player, but
brother made a snide comment about his brother, and the dad's like, I want to hear that. You support your brothers. Oh, I told you can't throw, and then here we go.
All right, that's. I don't like that one. I like my theory a little better. He was just trying to keep his son out of trouble, and it got a little bit physical.
Going back to Corey's fantasy land,
yeah,
the rainbows.
Here we go. Everything's great in the world. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A man was shot and killed Saturday night by deputies, according to the Madison County Sheriff's Office. MCSO was responding to a call about an irate man firing gunshots off Highway 90 in Greenville around 10 p.m. When deputies arrived, the man was still on the porch pointing the gun in the direction of deputies before firing another shot. The man was also pointing the gun to his head while making threats to harm himself and other people. Deputies repeatedly tried to get him to drop his gun, but he did not. During the incident, the man pointed the gun in the direction of deputies again, prompting a deputy to shoot him. The man was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced deceased. An 18-year-old is in custody in connection with a deadly shooting at Perrytown Apartments. Jaquise Price of Perry was being treated in Tallahassee for injuries and is now at the Leon County Jail. Price is being charged with murder and attempted murder. The shooting occurred on Friday, leaving 2 people dead and 2 injured. This is a developing story. This is Rachel Anay with your Old Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Office of Financial Regulation and the Florida Association of Broadcasters.
Investing is one of the ways you can help secure your financial future. Make sure you're investing with a registered investment professional who is required to act in your best interest when recommending investments to you and when investing your assets. Florida's Office of Financial Regulation has information and resources online to help you verify that you're working with a registered member of the financial services industry. Visit flofr.gov to learn more.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Falls loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
The season begins Saturday, August 30th, when the Gators host LIU.
Quick race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10 with 5. Touchdown, Gators.
Pregame coverage starts at 4 p.m. Eastern with kickoff at 7 p.m. Eastern on your home for Florida football.
Your home for the Florida Gators. Real Talk 93.3.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
I like this one from Matt. He says, boys, I know it's Alabama week, but we have to give the big dumper a shout out to Cal freaking Raleigh.
Number 50.
Yeah, man, that's unbelievable. The hallowed ground by which now he walks, it's unbelievable.
It really
the
is.
History of the game.
Yeah. He's 4 away from the most home runs ever by a switch hitter in Major League Baseball history. Yeah. He's already got the most home runs ever by a catcher.
Think about
he's 12 away from passing. If
Aaron
he gets
Judge.
to 60, are they going to break into college football games to show his
at bats? Aaron Judge?
Yeah, for 2 weeks. Probably not. It's weird. It's weird they won't do that for a non-Yankee.
But the thing, usually there's a great stories like that in the first half of the season. And then I was watching him at the home run derby and how he was just soaking it all up. I'm like, the second half's not going to be great.
It's hard for a catcher anyway,
totally
but
wrong.
he's 3 home runs in 2 games.
He's a big guy, but God, it looks effortless off his bat, man. It doesn't, and it helps to be a switch hitter. If you're having nagging problems with the left-handed swing, Take it on over there. He hit a ball the other night where he didn't even have to get it, and he sends it a long way. But it's cool that Florida State is now, I know it's an individual thing and it's an amazing deal, but I mean, Buster Posey and Cal Raleigh, I mean,
I think I think Judge is still the favorite to win the MVP, but not by nearly as much. And there's no way another school has had 2 MVP catchers. No chance. I don't know if another school's had. Well, I guess Arizona State's probably had a few MVPs, but I think that'd be awesome if they had. If Cal Raleigh was the MVP.
All right, boys, we're going rapid fire here. I've got to get some done here. Nathaniel, you can't pick Mick Ultra, Corey, or Guinness, Jeff. What beer do you guys recommend I have in hand at the house to watch the Noles versus Bama?
Coffee Blonde.
Tavello. You made that too
The Rose
easy.
City Lager.
Yeah.
Or the Coffee Blonde, either one. But yeah, Tavello.
Now, if
Tavello wasn't available, I'm a red stripe guy. What's your if you couldn't do Guinness, what would be next?
The problem is I need to keep this together for the game, to know what I'm going to talk about on Monday and all that, and to take it all in. So we're going to go light beer.
Not too hard.
No,
duels.
We're going to go banquet beer. We're going to go the little snub nose Coors banquet beers.
Okay.
Little bottles.
There you go.
Coors banquet. What are you going to do?
I don't know, but real quick about the Mick Ultra, the bottle cans, they're cans, but they're shaped like bottles that you drink out of, that you have at pools and stuff. For some reason, those things always pinch my mustache hair.
They're begging you
pulls
to drink
it out.
real beer.
It really hurts. Probably, yeah. But it really hurts. I don't know why they got to do something about that.
He also goes on to say he's going to be indoors alone with the air conditioning on. The only way to watch the Noles, big screen television, probably with some buffalo chicken dip or other football snacks. Who scores FSU's first touchdown of the season?
Roy Dell takes kickoff to the house. 97 yards.
That is an option.
Yeah.
That's on the play card.
Tommy Castellanos.
It's a safe bet. I'm going to go with Squirrel White.
I like it.
Right.
I like Randy Pittman. We'll go with Randy Pittman.
Good call.
Usman Chroma.
Oh, that'd be
inside
something.
the 3.
Yeah.
Joseph writes, boys, the time is here. We know that the odds makers, prognosticators, and talking heads say about this game on Saturday. What I want to know is, what do your guts tell you is going to happen in this game?
My gut tells me it's going to be a decent game. I think Florida State is not going to win. I think Alabama's going to win, but I think it's going to be a good game. I haven't given a score yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now.
I got to do it tomorrow on the Warchant Report, so I'm saving it.
I'm going to say Alabama 28, Florida State 21. That's where I'm at right now. 28-24, Alabama. I might change it for the report.
I don't have a gut feeling on this.
No gut feeling at all.
Literally none. Nothing. I know nothing about this team.
Either. I
don't know nothing
think
about
Bama's going
this
to win
team.
the game, and I thought that all off season and said it. Apparently,
Because they're good. They're very good at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I worry about that. I think they're going to get worn down, and I think they pull away late. I think it's a competitive game for a good 3 quarters, and then I think it gets.
You also legitimately. This might sound crazy to people. I get it. You might legitimately have a coaching advantage. And I'm not talking about just head coach. I'm talking about your coordinators versus their coordinators. You might be as good. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. Last year, clearly, in hindsight, they weren't great at the coordinator spot. You might be pretty darn good at coordinator.
I actually, another thing with Coach Henshaw, he likes to say when he looks at a game, especially if it's not a team he knows all that well, he looks at quarterbacks, line of scrimmage, and coaching.
Yeah,
those are like those 3 things.
That's the right thing.
Yeah. And I think Florida State may have the edge I think they've got the edge at quarterback, I believe.
They don't on the line of scrimmage.
No, they don't. But they may have the edge in coaching. And if they do, it gives you 2 out of 3. But the line of scrimmage may be so great of a disadvantage because we've talked a lot about the offensive line. Alabama's defensive line's a bunch of studs too. So that's going to be is that gap so large that you can't overcome it? We'll see.
Hassan writes, fellas, I keep playing the Alabama game in my head, and I keep landing on Bama winning 35-13.
Oh.
I see us sucker punching them in our opening drive with a touchdown, but then their size, and I thought he meant like for real, like we're going to start a fight.
That's
then
not a bad play.
And then their size and our inconsistent quarterback will lead to fast, empty possessions. This in turn is going to leave our defense tired. Yeah, he's talking about the scenario where
that's not the dream scenario.
No, that's not the dream scenario.
Obviously, you don't have to share that dream with everyone.
We
we're
don't
trying to
share
be positive.
your dream, Hassan.
We're trying to be positive.
But
You're 35-13.
He's keeping it real. That's fine. That's a scenario.
I've said something akin to that for a number
you can
of weeks.
see it. You can see it being close. You have a game. You're driving to make it a 1-score game. You have a 4th down stop where you miss a kick or something, and then they go and put the game away. I could absolutely see that happening 100%. But maybe that's my gut. Maybe I'm with Hassan there.
Butch says, hello, boys. I listened to the town hall last night, and the one thing Chairman Collins said that was a bit disappointing to me was about the upgrades to Hauser. Oh, buddy, Butch, you should have seen my face. And I'm telling you, that was the vast majority of Seminole Nation. Almost everybody I know went, okay.
He kind of
this is what we're doing out
killed
here.
The dream.
This is what we're doing out here, Chairman Collins.
Put the kibosh on Hauser.
We're just going to go out and put lipstick on a pig is what we're going to do.
Yeah, what he said was he's more inclined to fix up Hauser than he is to go start over with a brand new stadium. Because I do think there's a lot of people in the athletics department, including the baseball offices, who would like to see them start over with a new Hauser.
Buddy.
That's a waste of green space out there. Anyway, not using it for anything except for 7 home football games.
And he said, listen, maybe the next trustees chair will be the one that ushers that.
Well, maybe you'll just wake up, Chairman Collins. Let's go. What are we doing?
Could Jeff be on the board of trustees?
I'd like to be on the board of trustees.
But do you have to be an FSU alum?
Yeah, but that's fine.
You don't have to be.
Oh, you don't? Listen,
well, then why don't we all? We should be a triumvirate.
I was just going to say all 3 of us will be on. It's perfect.
Yeah, the governor will appoint us, and then we'll be there. Yeah.
Hello, boys. I listened to the show. Oh, no, sorry, that's Chairman Collins. I wanted to reiterate how disappointed he was.
Hey, we share your disappointment.
It's game week headliners, so I'm trying to gauge your confidence in the outcome of this game, your confidence in a result, if you will. So here we go. More likely, FSU win or Alabama winning by 20-plus points. So what are you more confident in, Alabama to beat us by more than 20 points or an FSU win? I would say Alabama to beat us by more than 20 points. I know, you're all shocked.
Yeah. I would probably go that route.
I would say that's more likely, but I'm thinking like 55 to 45. Well, I don't think it's.
Oh, you mean
percentage wise?
I was like, sweet Jesus!
No, I think
it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout. They can't stop Squirrel.
I think it's a slim percentage chance. I don't think either. I think that's more likely, but I don't think it's like 80 to 20%. That more likely.
What would be your tone on Monday's show?
If it was
assuming
55,
you do a
45?
Monday show because it's Labor Day.
I am doing a Monday show.
55 to 45. What would be your tone?
We're set.
Come get some, Virginia.
We're good.
I mean, you just gave up 55
Who
points.
else is dropping 55 on us there? You're not Bama's offensive line.
But it's a quarterback making his first start. They don't have their starting running back. They might not have one of their really good offensive linemen.
They have 2 elite wide receivers.
And they put
got
up
a stud.
55.
Dude, that means we scored 45 points on Bama's D.
That's the beauty of this question is there's reason for optimism, a lot of reason, but then it's also like, yikes, Tony White, holy moly.
I have question marks in some key areas about the line of scrimmage. They would remain on the defensive side if we gave up 55, but they would be answered on the offensive side if we scored 45 on Bama.
What if it's actually 48-45 and Weinberg lines up for that 71-yard field goal?
Dead down the heart.
No,
Weinberg's a hero.
It gets blocked and run back, and that's how they make it 55-45.
Joe writes, with the release of the depth chart for week 1, are there any surprises that you saw? Also, does this change your opinion on our result for Alabama, good or bad? Didn't change my opinion about anything. Anything you saw that surprised you?
If they allowed Florida State to play with 12 on offense.
That would be surprising.
What does that do to the spread?
It's Florida State favored by 3.
State's probably favored at that point.
By only 3?
3 to 5. We're a significant underdog.
The biggest surprise to me was that Jason Jenkins is not only back, but he's
the starter.
Yeah. I was so happy.
We had heard things, but I was still kind of a little bit surprised that Stephon Thompson was a backup, that he came here. But Omar Graham, they've talked him up, and he's been good when he's been able to play, or been pretty good. And other than that, I don't know. No, maybe Rizzi, maybe Medley being a backup tackle. Like, I'm not trying to get into the weeds too much about offensive line, but that was a little bit surprising.
A lot of feelings over here on Facebook. Chris says, yay, sausage, throw back at Tavello and brighten your smile with Birch. Happy game week, boys. Excited for FSU football to control my emotions for the second half of 2025. I'm torn between Alabama covering the spread and us keeping it interesting with it being a 3 to 6 point game. That's a heartbreaker. Do you guys feel like this is a fair feeling? Love listening as always. Thanks for keeping things fresh and interesting throughout the offseason. Go Noles. Thank you, Chris. That's an awfully nice
thank you very
sentiment.
much.
Appreciate you. Yeah, look, man, you've got a Florida State covering clearly if you've got it within 3 or 6. So good for you. It's a fair feeling. It's a feeling.
Right. Yeah, and listen, man, we focus on the negatives for Florida State. We focus on the concerns for Florida State.
Alabama has a couple.
They have some concerns too.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how it plays
Think
out.
about whatever Yellow Jacket headlines last year was talking about that Florida State team they're about to face. It's like, well, we're just trying to keep it close. Maybe in the fourth quarter, Haynes King can make a play. And it's kind of what happened. I mean, they kept it close, and Haynes King made a couple third down conversions, and they won the game.
David writes, thank goodness the season is starting back. I'm sick of the ACC network showing games from last year every damn day.
Yeah.
FSU fans are right. ESPN just hates us. I mean, we authored 2-10. We are in the ACC. They are playing games to celebrate the other side of those things too.
And I watched the 2023 ACC championship game. It was on last week.
Yeah, a lot of defense.
That's not a fun rewatch either.
We really should have first guessed that the offensive line was going to be bad last year. I'll be honest with
ridiculous.
you. When you go back and watch those games, because I was so focused on how bad the quarterback play was, and it was bad. Not just him, it was Tate also. All of it was bad. But, man, they couldn't block.
But also, then you think about
with Jordan not back there, they could not block us.
And in the Georgia game, they had a bunch of dudes opt out. They had nobody on the offensive line opt out, and it looked like they had people opt out.
The benefit of the doubt we gave them is that when you have a quarterback clearly they don't have confidence in throwing, that changes things.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have changed it that much.
Really, not great.
I'm just going to say, Phil, you have set a record. Now, you remember when I used to have to say no, what would I used to say? No, continue or also what? No,
Seymour.
No Seymours.
Yeah.
Holy geez.
Phil's got a big Seymour.
Well, you don't have time for that.
I'm not doing
Wrap it up.
I'm not doing it. But Phil, I want to commend you because it's organized. It's like a essay. It's well done. He's got a theme.
So everybody go to there's that Facebook.
It's days. I mean, you come in here. It'll take you an hour to read this thing.
You can't just skim it. Give us a couple of highlights.
He hates that our fans suck and that he's comparing bad seasons to yesteryear, like the Lakers went 17-65 when nobody flipped out and all this other stuff. I'm just saying, like, Phil took some time.
Appreciate it, Phil. I'm going to get on Facebook later.
He needed to get it off his chest. Gents, welcome to the eye test. Quality loss, ESPN FBI index rankings, and Heather Dennis CFP propagandist reporting from a random boardroom outside of Sankey's house. My question is, if Florida State beats Alabama Saturday, I wonder what the narrative will be. We've heard that.
Yep.
And what will Joe Testator talk about?
Oh, good old Joe Testator.
Hey, listen, if Alabama scores early, Joe will be unbuckling, boys. Here he goes.
Another SEC is just too good.
Yeah, just too good. What are you
going to do,
doing
the game?
I don't think so.
Oh,
is he?
Oh, he'll be doing another game, but he'll be watching and then starts unbuckling.
Hey, guys, Bama just scored.
That's still like you bringing up that ACC championship game. That is such an all-time just screw job.
My man knows who he's paid by.
It's starting with him. Well, starting a couple weeks, but starting with Herb Street.
Herb Street.
But then Tessator, that like Florida State fans the ones that weren't there couldn't even enjoy them winning an ACC championship because the flipping announcer keeps asking, is this good enough, America? Is this what you want, America?
Ask. He knew it wasn't.
Yeah,
he was just telling you over and over again.
The committee's got a hard
and then he spoke here at the quarterback club a few weeks later and acted like
there was got tough questions.
I don't have anything.
Guys, I'm a say goodbye, everybody.
Peace out, everyone. Hey, go to the game. Go have fun. Believe in your team.
We'll see you at Corner Pocket.
Yep.
Oh, good times. Until tomorrow, everybody. Peace.